Hey guys, welcome back to Vanellope's Corner. I'm gonna be like that, probably vlogging a little bit. I don't know. I'm just gonna be reading Reddit for a few hours because, well, COVID is right now. Everything's locked down. My mom went for a walk earlier, but she didn't want to take me with her, so I let her go for a walk by herself home. So we're just gonna do this, and this sucks, and I'm so bored. Like. Like when I went me when me and my mom went to the pet store because we were supposed to buy stuff for my rats on New Year's Eve, but we couldn't even do it shopping at Pet Paradise. There was no in-store shopping at PetSmart. So we just picked like a couple of things. We're doing the big actual shopping like when everything's not locked down anymore, but right now everything's locked down, so I just thought that I would get on YouTube and read Reddit for a while because I'm bored. And I, so anyway, like I'm basically bored. Hang on. So I'm essentially just bored as heck. And, and okay, let's see what we've got. Okay. And yeah, so we're just gonna be reading Reddit. I literally don't know what else to say. Entitled parents. Okay, let's read this one. This is the first one. I don't know, I'm just reading them in the order that they pop up on. Okay. Uh, entitled parents. Entitled mom sells me a broken guitar because her baby can't play it. What just happened? Multiple good endings. This story happened some years. What the fuck? The story happened some years ago on the East Coast. I was driving back home from a friend's house and decided to take a detour through one of the more nicer neighborhoods because it was the beginning of fall and I'm just a sucker for the scenery. While driving, I just so happened to have found another thing that I go crazy for, a garage sale. With me having with me having some money on hand, I decided this was fate and pulled over to check it out. Sorry about my voice, I know it's a little scratchy. At first, I didn't really see anything special, just the kind of stuff you would expect to see at any garage sale. Old furniture, clothes, DVDs, and other small items. But then in the corner of my eye, I saw something that I just didn't expect to see, a guitar. I went in for a closer look, expecting it to be some kind of cheap beginner guitar, the kind with a brand name you don't recognize. But no, what stood before me was an actual Gibson Les Paul. Side note, to those who don't know, Gibson is a very prestigious guitar brand name, and Les Paul is probably the most famous model type. This model of guitar is legendary for being the weapon of choice amongst god-level rock stars. Example, Slash from Guns N' Roses or Ace Frehley from Kiss. Now back to the story. She was beautiful, and yes, I refer to guitars as she. She was golden color with white trim and looked kind of old, but in really good condition. But what got me in the actual state of shock is the price tag. It said the price was $50. I couldn't help but think that the person selling this forgot to add another zero to the end of the price, as well as a one to the beginning. So I picked up the guitar and went to the woman handling the sale to ask her about it. She didn't really look like a typical entitled parent, but her attitude and body language just radiated entitlement. It was like her aura was almost made out of pure smugness and hatred for the working class. Just by talking to her, I couldn't help but feel that she was the kind of soccer mom that you would expect to yell at the coach, as well as the referee, other parents, and maybe some of the kids. But I digress. Me, entitled mom. Uh, excuse me, ma'am, can I ask about this guitar? The price says that it's $50. Is that correct? Yes, that's correct. Well, that's an unusually good price. Is there a reason for that? Yes, it's broken. I figured someone could use it like a decoration in their man cave or something. Hearing that just broke my heart. But it also got me curious because I couldn't find anything physically wrong with the guitar. No signs or any other cracks or damage. Nope, no cracks or any other signs of damage. I started asking more questions, thinking maybe I could fix her later. However, it was at this moment that any and all logic began to die and roll downhill away from me. Can I ask what's wrong with it? Yes, my baby can't play it. Excuse me? My son, he says it's unplayable. Oh, does he work with guitars like a technician or something? Oh no, he can't work. My baby is only 12. Hearing that stunned me for a quick second, but I then decided to try to give the benefit of the doubt. I don't know this kid, so maybe he was one of those young musical virtuosos who got accepted to Juilliard early or something. Sorry. I always have a lot of trouble reading. I don't know why I'm stumbling over my words all the time. So I take it your son is musically talented? Hang on. So I take it that your son is musically talented? Oh, very much so. He plays that Guitar Hero game all the time. What? Oh, that game where you play music. He's constantly playing that game and is always getting the high score on it. I kept a straight face, but my mind was turning into that meme of the woman trying to do math. So, because of that, you got him a guitar? Well, of course. When you have a child as gifted as mine, it's important that you nurture their gifts. So, you think he knows what he's doing? He obviously knows what he's doing. If he says that it's broken, then it's broken. Listening to it talk made my brain hurt, but it also helped me decide to take the chance and buy. Stop. Damn it. But it also helped me decide to take a chance and buy the guitar. While paying, this woman went on a long, insane rant about how the guitar was actually a gift from the kid's late grandfather from the dad's side of the family, and how he must not like her son because he gave him an old hand-me-down guitar instead of a brand new one. Hearing all this legitimately upset me, but I just decided to keep my mouth shut and leave. Yeah, that's what's best for those kinds of people. Uh, After getting home, I immediately took the guitar, plugged her into my amp, retuned her, that was all the maintenance she needed, and played a few notes and chords. To my amazement, she sounded perfect. It felt as if her soul was singing the praises of freedom. Probably. I spent the rest of the day playing and tripping out that not only have I purchased my first ever Gibson Les Paul, but I only paid $50. But the story doesn't end here. A few weeks later, I met a friend at a party who was an actual guitar technician. Holy shit. Um, I told him my story, and he said if I wanted, he could appraise my guitar for me and tell me who true value. I took it off. I I took him up on the offer, and the results blew me away. It turns out my baby was a vintage Les Paul from 1973, retailing at well over $3,000. He then asked me if I were interested in selling, but I told him that there was absolutely no way I'm ever letting go of her. But the story still doesn't end here. Shortly after getting my baby appraised, I get word from a friend who turns out works in the same office building with the husband of EM. She updates me about what she learned, and apparently EM's husband is, of course, righteously pissed. It turns out not only did EM sell a very expensive guitar for just $50 that was a gift from his father to his spoiled kid, but she also sold it without him knowing. Not only that, my friend informs me that the EM has also been looking for me. My friend tells me that the EM wants to find me so she can demand the guitar back, not offer to buy it or even pay back what I paid. She wants to demand that I give it back for free because apparently I scammed her out of a priceless family heirloom and robbed her child's ability to play music. My friend said she didn't say anything about knowing me, but then asked me if I wanted her to say anything to them about who I was. I tell her absolutely not. If she wants a guitar, she can buy a new one with the money I gave her, just like she planned. And I agree that this guitar is a family heirloom, but it's my family heirloom. That's right. You know what? You sold the guitar, and he owns it now. So apparently, I have a message. Let's see. Hang on. Aw, thank you. I'm letting myself grieve rather than suppress the sorrow. Okay, that's from a lot post in pet loss I actually posted about Dasher's death. I posted in April, and then I also made another post like a couple of weeks ago that basically saying that I was feeling a lot better, that I was, over it. Like, not over it, but like feeling a lot better by it, and over like the major part of it. Like, I didn't feel depressed anymore. I'm feeling a lot better about it because I am. Like, I'm finally at a place where I can feel at peace. Oh shit, my battery. Wait. Okay. Plug in my computer. Ugh. Luckily, my cord is always in a place where I can reach it if I'm sitting on the couch so that I can just plug it in if I need to. Okay. Alright. Let's see what else we got. More entitled parents. Yes, let's do it. Okay. Let's see what other entitled parent stories there are. No, my pregnant sister is becoming an entitled parent. Oh, balls. So, my sister is pregnant, and because I knit, she has asked me to make baby blankets and the like. I agreed to do so as a gift to her and the baby. I'm not charging her for my time or any of the materials that I have used. I'm not making anything other than the blanket, as I often cook for her and her boyfriend, and I also will be looking after the baby for free. The entitlement started when she messaged me to ask if I would do a photo shoot for her, as I did photography as a GCSE and own a camera, um, general camera service engineer. Let me look it up. I'm gonna Google this really quickly and find out what it means. Hang on. GCSE. GCSE. Meaning. General Certificate of Secondary Education. General Certificate of Service Education. General Certificate of Secondary Certificate of Secondary Education. General Certificate of Secondary Education. Photography. There we go. Art and design. What GCSE? Okay, so GCSE is General Certificate of Secondary Education. Essentially, I can't find another meaning, so I'm assuming that's what it means. But and I own a camera. I asked if I would get paid, as I would have to show and use my time to do the photo shoot and then edit the images, and she said no. I would get food or drink, as she wasn't going to pay the photographer who she was planning on hiring. I told her no, and she said that as her sibling, I should do it. She said I should do it even though we don't live in the same city, and that she would pay for a taxi. I told her that paying for a taxi is not the same as paying me. She said she would ask my twin, and I told her to do that then. If enough people want it, I have screenshots of the conversation. Okay. Edit 1. I keep getting comments saying that it's not entitled, and that's what families are for. Okay, listen. Even if me and my sister are not close, okay, it doesn't matter. Even if you are close, you don't owe her shit, all right? You don't owe her. Can people stop saying that? Because you know what? It's not true. Just because you're family doesn't mean you owe her anything, and it doesn't mean you should work for free. If she really cares about you, she's going to pay you for the work that you do when it's requested. All right, you're already doing so much to her for helping. So, holy jeez. I mean, you don't owe her anything. Like, Just because just because you have a gift doesn't mean your family should get to take advantage of said gift by using it for free, okay? That is not how life works. Like, not at all. We never have been, and she is often extremely rude to me. My gift to her is the blanket which I am knitting her. We have several other sisters who aren't getting or making anything for her, so I think it's unfair to say that families should just do stuff like this. I'm also a full time college student with a part time job. For the people saying that she's not asking too much, can people stop saying that? Can people please stop saying that? Even if she's not asking a lot, it doesn't matter. She doesn't she can ask it, but this person has the right to say no to working for free, no matter if it's family or not. Edit 2. Okay, thank you all so much for the upvotes. This blew up way quicker than I thought possible. Thank you for the silver award. Oh, I got a silver on one of my posts. Like, oh, that was a long time ago though. That was like a year ago, I think, by now, or maybe over a year ago. Uh, Thank you for the silver award. I'm 17 and I usually get the bus everywhere. And from my city to hers takes 3 hours when there's little to no traffic. I don't run a photography business, and I was only on plan. I don't run a photography business, and I was only planning on charging her £30 to £40 for the whole thing. No, I don't have to go into college, but I still have online lessons almost every day, and I have a lot of coursework. Screenshots are posted on my profile if you are interested. Edit 3, thank you for all the awards. It means so much. I'm trying to respond to as many people as possible, but there's just so many of you. If you want to ask a question, please message me, as I'll probably get back to you much quicker. All right. Let's see what else we've got here. Okay. Oh, that's an ad. Stop messing with my thread, dude. This is not your house. My stepmom tried to sue me and get me disowned. Okay, let's read this one. Yay! Holy shit. Okay. This is gonna be interesting. My stepmom tried to sue me and get me disowned. Some backstory, my dad had just died when all of this happened, and I was in a lot of pain. What's this? What happened? What did I just do? What does M mean? Flare M. Wait. Okay, I'm gonna quickly find out what M means. Okay. M flare Reddit. What is the S flare? What? Okay. Oh, short, medium, and long. Okay. So if it's an M, then it's a medium. If it's L, then it's long, and if it's S, I thought it meant male, and there was also one for female. But let's see. Some backstory, my dad had just died when all of this happened, and I was in a lot of pain because it was a sudden thing. I didn't even get to say goodbye to him, so it really hurt. Aw, dude, that freaking sucks. Losing loved ones is always hard. I've lost 3 people in my life, and also the dog, and every time it just hurts so much. It freaking sucks. On to the story, it all started when my mom went to the hospital to visit my grandma. My grandma had fallen and couldn't get up. She's fine now. What's that commercial where the lady's like, I've fallen and I can't get up? My mom later found out that my stepmom was admitted because of a kidney problem. My mom later found out that my stepmom was admitted because of a kidney problem. My mom went to pay her a visit, and that's when my stepmom made her first mistake. My stepmom asked my mom about my dad's life insurance. My mom knew nothing about it, and my stepmom tells my mom she tried to get into it, but it was signed under my name. After that didn't work, my stepmom hired a lawyer and tried again, but no luck. My mom obviously wasn't happy about this and called to tell me everything. I had no idea about the life insurance, and nonetheless being under my name. My mom soon hired a lawyer who told us everything. I'm entitled to the money due to the contract, and my stepmom and I could split the house. My lawyer contacted my stepmom's lawyer and obviously wasn't happy. My stepmom threatened to sue, then made up a lie to tell my family and hers. The lie also said that my mom brought lawyers into it first, which she actually did. The lie was that I wanted 75% of the house and all of the money, which of course wasn't true. My family didn't believe her, but her family did. As a last-ditch effort to show that she wanted the money, it shows that she was planning on divorcing my dad while he was on his deathbed. After a while, my stepmom and I agreed that I would get the life insurance and she would keep the house. Uh, when her family found this out, obviously they attacked me, saying how I'm a terrible person and that I should have given her the money to help with her medical bills. I firmly believe that if someone treats you terribly for years and you finally have a way out, they don't deserve even the smallest ounce of kindness. Agreed. 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 I'm glad she's out of my life and I don't have to deal with her verbally abusing me anymore. I totally agree. You don't owe her shit just because she's family. Actually, a lot of times the family you're born with is way worse than the family that you choose. Like, it's so sad how some people who are family to each other can just treat each other so terribly. And I agree that even if they're family, if they treat you really awfully and they do terrible things to you, that they don't deserve anything from you and they don't deserve any kindness from you or to be in your life at all. That's super toxic and not okay. I don't appreciate it at all. And I really, really like it when, like, people who are in that kind of situation get out. Like, I love to hear that people are, like, find a way out from their abusive and toxic family. It's absolutely awful. That is not the way she at all, and they don't owe you anything regardless of if they're family or not. If someone treats you bad, they don't deserve you. Okay, I've seen that. Your bear is covered in what? Build-A-Bear? This is a Build-A-Bear story. Okay. I love Build-A-Bear. I actually have a few stuffed animals that are from Build-A-Bear. I have like a small Build-A-Bear collection, so it's very cute. But let's see. Your bear is covered in what? So since people like the Build-A-Bear stories, I decided to post another one. Oh, do you work at Build-A-Bear? Oh my gosh. Maybe we should look up this person's profile. Anyway, I decided to post another one. Now, this one isn't about me. It's about my coworker, who I'm gonna call Mama Bear. I call her this because she's kind of the mom of our group. She's a grandma, a mother, and she's awesome. She's great at her job. She's fantastic with the kids, and she's hilarious. She also looks out for us too. Mm. Now, if you're new to these stories, one of my jobs is working at Build-A-Bear. Build-A-Bear is a retail store that is unlike other toy stores because you get to make a toy. You pick out a skin, fill it up with fluff, find an outfit, name it, and you're good to go. Oh, yeah, I got a bunch of them. Now, one of the things that Build-A-Bear is that if your friend gets a hole or he needs to be restuffed, you can bring it back. Anyway, for example, a young girl brought in a camouflage bear that needed to be restuffed and sewn back up. I opened him up, made him fluffy again, and then performed some teddy bear surgery. Anyone who has purchased a Build-A-Bear can do this, and it also doesn't have any age limit. Yeah, I've been at, like, for a few birthdays to stuff a bear. Like, it was actually one of my birthday traditions for a while, and I actually got to do it this birthday too because of COVID. A lot of things were shut down and a lot of things were different. So one of the stores I wanted to go to was closed, so we didn't end up going there, and we ended up getting Build-A-Bear instead. My tree is dancing right now. It's so cute. Okay, but anyway, This happened a while ago, but Mama Bear had been working at Build-A-Bear for some time. I think she said this was like maybe 4 years ago. Either way, she was working at the store when this man, who I'm going to call Chad, comes in with a garbage bag. He comes up to the cash register and asks for Mama Bear's help. As mentioned, we can restuff bears, and he needed a bear to be restuffed. At this point, Mama Bear doesn't think there's an issue until he hands her the garbage bag and she opens it up. Immediately, she's hit with the familiar and unpleasant stench of vomit. I hate that. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Chad wanted Mama Bear to unstuff a bear covered in vomit. Chad's daughter had been sick and had thrown up on the bear. Now, Mama Bear will go the extra mile to make a kid have an unforgettable experience at Build-A-Bear, and she also can diffuse situations, but she downright refused to unstuff the bear. She was well within the right, but Chad wasn't happy. He kept arguing with her and told her to just do your job in regards to the bear. Smart people understand why Mama Bear wasn't going to unstuff the bear. Vomit is gross, but also she didn't know what Chad's daughter had. It could have been contagious. Plus, she wasn't getting paid enough to deal with something like this. The guy argued with her a bit and then he left. He never came back, but I think he threatened to call headquarters. Can you imagine that call? Yes, I bought a stuffed animal covered in my child's vomit, and your employee refused to touch it because she didn't want to risk her health. I was shocked at the story, but the more I think about it, it's not that surprising considering how entitled parents have no logic. They really do. They really, really do. They will just do anything and not understand why you won't do exactly what they want without, thinking about how what they want you to do is going to affect you. Like, I've seen multiple stories, so many stories. Like, I listened to r slash and Fresh and Vincy and a lot of other Reddit readers. It's actually one of my favorite things to do now that I'm stuck inside because of COVID and everything's on lockdown again. I've been doing it the past couple weeks where I've been listening to like a lot of Reddit videos, and r slash actually has this huge playlist of over 100 entitled parents videos that I've been working my way down, and it's been so fun. I absolutely love entitled parents. Like, I love seeing how ridiculous their requests are. And I've literally seen so many people, like so many entitled parents, who are like, give me that thing that you have, like whether it's a video game system or a toy. Like, one of my favorite stories I've heard is about an entitled parent taking an autistic child's stuffed sloth, which um is like an animal which is the stuffed sloth that she carries around, that they call so not service animals, but hang on, um, um hang on. Hmm. Oh, they're called sensory toys. So she's carrying her like sensory sloth around, and this entitled mom is basically like, give me your sloth. And so the girl starts telling her, oh, this is my sloth, you can actually get one at the store. Like, she actually offered to pay $15 for it, and the girl's like, oh, you can actually get one at the store for $10. And the woman insists, like, give me yours, I can buy it, I want to give you $15 for it. So she was actually trying to buy it for like 30 30% of the original price, or for like a 30% increase of the original price. She was trying to pay more for it than she would have to pay that to buy it at the store that was literally a few minutes away. Like, I think the store was like 5 minutes away or something, just because she wanted that particular sloth, that she was willing to pay more for it than she would pay in the store. Like, she can literally get, like, it's not custom made. She can literally buy this sloth at a store for a lot less. That's only a few minutes away, for a lot less than she said she was going to pay for this girl's particular sloth. That pretty much sums up entitled parent logic in a nutshell. I don't know. I love it so much. Like, it's pretty sad. Like, there are some entitled parent stories that I don't like. Like, I'll still listen to them, but it gets really depressing when it comes to like animal abuse or people having or people having like their pets stolen. Yes, that happens. That happens like a lot. So, oof, like it happens. That's something that happens a lot. Ugh, and it just gets like animal abuse, and there's actually a couple instances where I've heard stories where the entitled parent has actually killed the animal. Like there's this story I heard recently where this entitled woman literally took this person's two cats and let them go outside, and she never saw them again, and they were eaten by coyotes because there were a lot of coyotes in her area. So she never saw her two cats again, and it was so depressing. Like I literally wanted to cry. It so sucks. Like sometimes it's just shit. Like sometimes entitled parent stories will make me depressed, but a lot of the time that like most of the time they're just super fun to laugh at, be stupid about, like when someone's like, hey, give me a video game system or something stupid like this. And sometimes entitled parents will even get what's coming to them, and they'll literally, like I've seen tons of stories where they actually get the police called on them, or they call the police themselves, and then they literally just set themselves up for failure or to get in trouble. Like they'll break someone's property because they couldn't have it, and then they get in trouble for it, and they're like, why am I getting in trouble for it? I shouldn't have to get in trouble for it. I'm entitled to it, and I'm entitled to break it if I can't have it. Like it's so stupid. I don't know. Just the whole entitled parents. I love it. I absolutely love it. Grandma's on unflipped coin. Heads, they are a Karen, but worse than actual Karen. And on the other side, they are the Karen's polar opposite. They can stand up to help OP, or they can be the Karen and go extra harsh because then she knows everyone will think she's just senile. What are your thoughts? My thoughts are what the hell. My granny in law is a sort of Karen. Also, she will kick your ass hard if you hurt her family despite having one leg, but she will argue with you if you don't do what she says. Oh my gosh. I can confirm that this is somewhat true though. I have two grandmas. One is the hyper religious Karen we all know, and the other is the anti Karen. If I were to use Cookie Clicker to example this grandma's can be in the grandma apocalypse, aka Karen apocalypse, or the grandmas when you start the game. That's literally how the world is gonna end. Karen apocalypse. Can you imagine? All right, let's read some more entitled parents. That was just like a side note thing. Entitled grandmother screams at 9-year-old me in the movie theater. Oh, my dear sweet lord. Okay, so I'm not entirely sure if this woman was an entitled parent, but from what I've read, she seemed to fit the definition. So when I was 9, me, my mother, and my brother and cousin went to see Toy Story 3 at the movie theater my uncle was the manager of. I love all the Toy Story movies, by the way. Um, Details that will be important later. Oh, your uncle was the manager? Is she going to be like, I demand to speak to the manager? And she's going to be like, okay. Then you're just going to be like, okay, behold, a member of my family who will defend me. There was no one else in the theater besides us and an old lady who was there with her two kids. For the most part, we watched the movie in silence, occasionally eating popcorn and cotton candy. They serve cotton candy at your movie theater. You're fucking lucky. Ugh. I don't like cotton candy, but a couple of my girls do, and they get really excited over cotton candy. They would love to be at that theater. I was sitting about one seat to the right of her and was behind her. My brother, who was 4 at the time, was sitting in the seat behind her in his booster seat. Suddenly, out of the blue, she behind her and exclaims to me, and she looks behind her and exclaims to me in a condescending tone, "Don't kick my seat anymore, you little twerp." This, along with the fact that I suffer from anxiety, frightened me, even though I had no idea what she was talking about. Ugh. So I spent the next 6 minutes, hugging my legs tightly so as not to accidentally kick her seat. She then moves to the seat right behind me and begins to raise her voice at me, saying, "If you do not stop kicking my seat, I am going to take you outside this theater and spank your hiney until you understand not to kick my seat. Do you understand?" I started to whimper and cry, actually afraid she would do this. I hate spanking. I think it should be against the law. That's not an appropriate punishment for any child. It just instills fear in them. And like I obviously have a strong opinion on it because I was spanked as a child and it was it was not a good experience, but it was extremely messed up. But it's always a messed up thing to do, and you really can't do it to someone else's kid, and you can't threaten to do it to someone else's kid, especially a 9-year-old. Like, my son turned 9 in August, and I would kill someone if they threatened to do that to him. Oh my God. I mean, obviously, I'm exaggerating, but oh my goodness, I would be so mad. I started to whimper and cry, afraid she would do this. She then begins to scream at me, "Stop crying! Be a goddamn man!" before grabbing some of my cotton candy and sitting back down. You're gonna take a child's cotton candy? Are you kidding me? My mother, seeing this, gets up and asks her why she was screaming at me and why you took his cotton candy. The old hag responds with, "Your little brat here has been kicking my seat non-stop throughout the movie. My son is the manager here. He can have you all kicked out for bothering me and my grandson." For bothering me and my grandchildren. Oh my gosh. I was contemplating kicking a fight with that hag, picking a fight with that hag, as she later told me after the movie, decided to do the smart thing and move up to the top row of seats with a hold of my uncle and let him know of the situation while my cousin kept watch. The old hag was later escorted out of the premises near the last parts of the movie. So haven't we watched Toy Story 3? Oh, due to the bad memories of that woman. I'm sorry that movie was spoiled for you. It's such a great movie, and it sucks that this spoiled it for you. Although, like, I totally understand because I have shit that's spoiled because of like bad memories. I have a list of stuff that I want to redo because the last memory I have of it, because the last memory I have of a few things was when my dad was around, and the last memories I have of certain things are shit. So I have a list of, I think, like 4 or 5 things that I want to like redo so that I can make like good memories, like proper memories that don't suck shit because my dad just ruined so many things and I stopped doing like a lot of stuff because my dad ruined it for me. Like I stopped doing karate and stuff like that and I really loved doing karate and I actually got really excited over it. Like when my brother was little, he was like 7 or 8, I think, and we went to the karate place to sign up and basically I I just went over there with them. Like I wasn't gonna sign up or anything, but then I saw like all the kicking and punching, and it looked so cool, and I got really excited. So I was like, I totally want to sign up too. And then lo and behold, over the next couple of years, my dad, I think he might have been older. I think he was like 13 and I think I was like 13 and he was like 9. So anyway, it doesn't matter, but he totally ruined karate for me and I haven't done it since and I don't know if I'm going to want to do it. I don't know. It just freaking sucks. Like my dad ruined so much for me. And like there's other stuff too, but like you just ruined stuff for me. So I totally get where this person is coming from. Ugh, it's such crap when something you love so much is ruined for you because of bad memories. That one time I took revenge, titled "Parents Not Safe for Work." All right. Hmm. Okay. Please do not steal or post elsewhere. Okay. A few years ago, I moved cities to the town my father and his wife live, entitled SESM, entitled second mother, entitled stepmother. I had to go away for some training for a week, and I asked if they would mind feeding my two cats. Oh no, this is gonna be a cat one, isn't it? Oh my gosh. Oh, these cats. Oh my gosh. Oh, what's gonna happen to the cats? Please let them be okay. I always hate when they immediately mention they have pets within an entitled parents post because I'm like, something's gonna happen to the animal. It's like, see, it's like when you're it's like when you're watching a horror movie and you immediately see a pet in the horror movie and you're like, oh no, that animal is gonna die. Um, it was a last minute request. I had my own house and I did not live with them. It was a last minute request. I've been booked into course last minute. I even paid them for the chore and presented them with a bottle of wine and chocolates before I left. I did ask them to follow these rules. One, don't let the cats out. I hadn't been there long, and my cats go a bit loopy without me there. Two, the cat's food and toilet area were enclosed in a conservatory area. If they could feed them twice a day and check and clean the litter box when needed, due to the conservatory being a closed off area separate to the house, there was no need to go into the house. I get off the plane after my 2 hour flight to receive a photo text message from entitled father and entitled stepmother. They were standing in my living room displaying new curtains. I was like, what the fuck? I rang. Me. What are you doing in the house? Entitled father. We didn't like the old curtains, so we replaced them. We found them for around $300 and got a seamstress to fit them. Me. I've been away 2 hours. Where are the cats? Entitled father. Oh, we've been planning this since you rented the house. When can you pay us for the curtains? Me, losing my mind. Where are the cats? Entitled father. Oh, we let them out in the first half hour. They didn't seem very happy. Me. You get those cats back inside and remove those curtains now. I only asked you to do this as it was such short notice, and you promised me that you would respect my boundaries. Entitled father. You can't live with curtains that look like shit. Me. I don't own the curtains. They are part of the chattels of the house. Chattels? Shadows? Shadows? Entitled father. Oh, we've thrown them out. God. Needless to say, the cats were not caught. They spent the week outside. Oh my god. I get home and I am furious. The cats were back within 20 minutes, thank God. And after I assured myself that they were okay, I checked the house, and entitled stepmom had been letting herself in to clean. She had gone through all my papers, bills, and thrown half out and stacked others, just moved everything to places she liked, hid things, etc. They had also not returned my key and were now refusing to do so, just in case. Here's where I decided everything was fucking enough. I rang them and asked to be put on speakerphone. They were gushing about what a good job they had done and how much time they had saved me and what an inept adult I was for not being able to clean. I had a housekeeper, for fuck's sake. Me, my box of sex toys is missing. Oh, um, I might have to edit this out later. I don't know if this is allowed on YouTube. Entitled stepmom says, what? Me. The 12-inch glitter purple is not where I left it, and the three that were in that missing box are with a whole lot of money. Some of the glass stuff is delicate, and the whole box is gone. I estimate about $800 was in that box. Wow. Okay. I made up as much as I could. Entitled stepmom, I would never invade your privacy. Me. Oh, so dad's taken them? Entitled father. Profound swearing. I would never do such a thing. Me. Well, my housekeeper hasn't been there while I've been away, and you had the only keys. So either you left the house open to a very particular burglar, or you've moved my very personal stuff. I might have to take. I'm probably gonna have to take. I'm probably gonna have to take a moment to take some time later to like edit this out and repost it. I don't think this is going to be allowed on YouTube. I probably shouldn't even be reading it right now, but I'm going to just edit this out later. So okay, I have the keys and the old curtains back within 5 minutes. Sorry, I should point out that there was never a box of said toys. I just knew that they were so self-righteous. It was the only thing that would shock them into a reaction. Oh, all right. Edited for formatting. And now to add the not safe for work. Okay, this was probably a bad idea. I hope I don't get in trouble with YouTube or StreamYard. I'm not going to be reading any other not safe for work posts, which I shouldn't have read that one anyway. So hopefully I don't get in trouble. I know Nathan got banned a while ago for streaming. I know Nathan got banned a while ago for streaming. Okay. Hi. Oh, the ad was for medical alert where they were showing how the button could save the lady. Oh, that's right. New cool boys. Hey man. Oh, he's not in the stream anymore. Well, it was nice to see you. Thanks for coming by and like hanging out for a bit. So, I'm just gonna keep reading. Okay. How freaking hard is it to forward someone's mail? Oh boy. Okay. One of my mom's friends had a grandson that was confronted by the police not long ago. Wait. Eh. One of my mom's friends had a grandson that was confronted by the police not that long ago. 18-year-old Chase is obviously part black, and he kept out of trouble while he lives in a house out of town with his girlfriend and their friends. This is a curfew for any There is a curfew for anyone under the age of 18 in that county, and the cops were always on the lookout for any rule breakers. Chase was walking home and a cop pulled over to question him, thinking he was a teenager. Chase gave over his idea and did his best not to antagonize the cop. The cop ran his ID and told him he had a warrant out for his arrest. He had to pay the cop $100 to avoid going to jail. Chase didn't have $100 on him. He panicked and he was allowed to call around. His own mother didn't give him money, saying that he shouldn't have broken the law. He called my mom, who called a family member nearby to give the cop the money, while questioning him what the warrant was for. Apparently, Chase had a warrant from his hometown for missing jury duty. The money was acting as bail, so the cop says, and that the court needed to set up a date for him to arrive. Chase had no idea that he had jury duty. He had not received a letter stating that he had it. He was scared out of his mind, thinking that he was going to get shot or beaten or arrested for drummed up charges. Thankfully, since he had no priors and was honest about not getting it, the judge let him off with a warning to watch his mail more carefully. So, where's the entitlement, you're asking? Uh, his mother still gets some of his mail. She believed that he should have made sure that all his mail went to his new place, and it wasn't her job to even tell him he got mail at her place, which was his old address. So instead of telling him, she would just tear up the mail and throw it out. She doesn't forward it because she felt like she didn't have to. In this day and age, Chase was lucky he wasn't hurt. He was scared out of his mind, we all were, that he would become another victim. All because his mother was lazy and self-centered. She was never Mother of the Year, but holy crap, she didn't care about her son in this situation at all. Wow. So she's the reason he didn't get his freaking mail. She didn't get his freaking jury summons. And when he called her for help, she was just like, "Well, you shouldn't have broken the law, so I'm not gonna help you with $100, which is not a lot of money even. Like, not even for me. Like, not even for me. And I am below the poverty line. I'm living like low middle class. So like I get around $900 from the government, but I'm still technically below the poverty line. So I'm living in poverty, and once I get an apartment, it's gonna get a lot more difficult because I'm gonna be paying rent. So I'm gonna be living on around $400 a month because the other 100 is going to be going towards feeding my bearded dragon. So I just need to make sure that I have enough money. But even in this situation, it's not a lot of money even to me. So it makes me really upset. Reddit is a website that a lot of people visit. Oh, right. Okay. Well, wait. Squarespace. Using Squarespace. If you want to make your own website. Oh, I was looking for my own website so I can make it for to upload videos and stuff. Okay, I really need to just make sure I really need to make sure that I um I really need to make sure that I'm finding a website, but I also need to make sure that I can upload what I need to upload for my website. So, my total grandma passed away. As much as I ragged on my grandma for being entitled, the sad part is she's gone and dead. She may have been a pain in my ass, but that woman was my grandma. That woman was the reason I'm where I am today. She raised me along with my sister when no one else could. As much of a hard ass as she was, she never failed in showing my sister and I some love. She always saved the best snacks for me. She always had money for birthdays and Christmases. She treated me, who happened to be one of her grandkids, like one of her children, despite the fact that she didn't have to. Abuela Carmen hasta siempre. Okay. I don't speak Spanish, so I don't know what that means. That's Spanish, right? I'm not making a fool of myself, but I don't know what that means. But uh, wait, hasta la vista, hasta siempre. So hasta means like goodbye or something. Goodbye in peace. I don't know. I'm probably making a fool of myself, but I'm glad that your entitled grandma actually showed you love because a lot of entitled parents are just extremely selfish and just so toxic. Okay, we're going to read one more story and then I think we're going to try another subreddit because I was actually thinking about this subreddit called Insane Parents that's very similar to this, except a lot more extreme. So this is going to be really interesting. Okay, I don't know who to talk to about this, so I thought that I'd get some opinions. And this is made by KK. I should be saying people's usernames before I read their story. KK34657. Okay. I don't know who to talk to about this, so I thought I'd get some opinions. I'm not even really sure that this belongs here. Excuse me. I'm a 19-year-old community college student. I have a really awesome mom who I consider to be my best friend. Same. Same. We are very close, but there's just one thing about her that is seriously beginning to affect me. We are on the low end of middle class, just barely scraping by. My parents have no savings to fund my education. This I'm fine with. All it means is that I have to work harder in order to be able to do things that would otherwise not be within our budget. Yeah, I get that. I get that. Like, I get that sometimes your parents need help. Like, I actually, a couple years before I moved in with my brother, my mom was actually getting me to help pay for the house because I was getting a lot of money from the government. I think I was getting like maybe $900 to $1,000 from the government per month. So she was actually getting me to help out with rent a little bit. I think I was paying something like $300. Like my brother and I were paying like $300 each, I think. So we were actually helping out a little bit with rent. I understand that sometimes parents need help, and we were both adults and we were both getting money from the government, so it made sense that we would both pay a little bit of rent to continue living with our mom until we could find it because she needed help to be able to afford the house that we were currently living in. And the house was like a really nice place, and me and my brother both loved it there, and we were totally fine like paying a little bit of rent just to help out so that we could continue to live there because we both loved the house. My parents have no savings to fund my education. Okay, I already read that. I'm working two jobs right now, and I'm also in a rigorous honors program at my community college. An honors program? Yay! I mean, I don't know much about the honors program. I just know that that's like a good thing. Uh, Meaning I'm literally getting paid to study, and my parents don't pay a dime. Oh my gosh, wow, that's amazing! I'm so happy for you. I graduate with my AA this coming summer, which means I'm also working on applications for transfer to university, as well as scholarships to fund all this. Cool. Okay, well, I hope you get into an awesome university. Maybe Harvard, ooh, or Yale or something. My mom is aware that it's a lot of work and constantly is telling me just how proud she is of me. She tells me all the time how I'm the one source of light and hope in her life and how happy she is to see how well I've done given our circumstances. Aw, it's so sweet. Anyway, so going to college is like my number one goal in life. Like I have some stuff that I really want to do, like to further mature things like publishing a book and stuff. And going to college or university is something that I really want to do. I do have a college fund that my mom put aside for me, but there's not a whole lot in it, considering that my dad didn't put a lot away from my college fund. So all I have left is the money that my mom set aside for me, which isn't a whole lot. Uh so I need more money. And I've actually heard that in other countries that they might do like an educate that they might do education, like they have free education in certain countries. So if you like go to visit there, you might be able to get a free education. I don't know like what other rules are. I'm gonna have to figure that out, but I'm really curious. And I'm wondering, like, if I end up going there to live there for 4 years, maybe I can go to college or university for free there. So it's something that I really want to do and something that I'm going to continue looking into because I'm not giving up on my dream of going to college. Here's the problem. Despite her saying she understands the amount of work I do, I consider her to be inconsiderate of all this most days. She constantly wants to be with me just to watch TV or to go out with her or to just to help her with things around the house. Honestly, I love to spend time with her, but the reality is that in order to keep getting these grades and acceptances that she is so proud of, I have to devote a lot of my time and energy to school. Because of Corona, this means being glued to my laptop for the past year or so. I pulled countless all-nighters these past few semesters and even developed a caffeine addiction in order to keep up with school and work. It's getting more common for me to just break down when I'm finally alone, either in the shower or late at night from all the stress I'm going through. I just cry. I've told her that before. I've told her before that in order to accomplish all of this stuff, she has to understand the amount of time that I have to devote to it. I have to devote to all of it. I told her multiple times, but she still constantly tries to get me to postpone my schoolwork in order to do things like go shopping with her. She tells me that since I'm so young, I have no excuse to be tired, but I feel so tired all the time. I have no energy anymore, and she really makes me feel like shit sometimes for not being able to do it all. I've even been trying to get an application for a huge scholarship done that's due next week, but it's like every day she needs me to do something for her or go out with her, which always means getting home super late. Recently, I snapped at her and asked when I'm supposed to get any of my own work done, and she's just so dismissive of the amount of time I have to devote to this, suggesting me to take a day to finish it. Applications like this don't take a day. I know a guy who won it last year and spent a whole 2 months working on it. I'm feeling so stressed trying to do it all and still make her proud and not alone, but it's just too much. Just yesterday, I woke up early to work a shift, and when I came home, I asked for 10 minutes of silence so I could rest before starting to work on my schoolwork. She was mopping and blasting music, and I didn't even ask her to put it down, but she came in my room and started singing really loudly when cleaning and started complaining about how I'm the only one who never helps out as much at home. I'm also the only one working two jobs and studying at a righteous program. It just is getting to be too much. I feel my motivation depleting every day, along with I'm tired all the time. Uh, sorry, I read the wrong line there. Along with all my energy. I have such big dreams, but I'm not sure if I can accomplish them feeling as tired as I do. I'm tired all the time. I don't know what to do. I've tried to talk to her, and she always says she knows it's a lot of work, but she doesn't act like it. I don't know who to talk to about this. Am I just being whiny? She's an amazing mother who has done so much for me my entire life. It feels really bad to even be talking about her on the sub. I love her so much and want to keep her happy and proud of me, but it's really starting to affect me mentally and physically. I don't think I can do it all. How do I handle this situation? What do I do? I'm so young, but I feel so tired all the time. I don't know what to do anymore. It may be that your mom is her own clumsy way, trying to de-stress you, seeing how much pressure you're under, trying to get you to do some normal activities rather than being glued to your laptop and studies. I definitely agree. Thank you for this. I hadn't really considered this perspective before. New candy! Oh my gosh. Free candy for a year? What? Okay, so I was distracted by this candy site. New candy! Oh my gosh, what? No. Wait. Okay, I want to see. Newest products. Hang on. I'm gonna look at this candy site for some time. I'm gonna just take a minute or two to look at this candy site. They have Coke bottles! Yay! I love Coke bottles. Sour octopuses. They look like sour spiders. And why is there only 7 legs? They're supposed to have 8 legs, but I only see 7. Wait, what just happened? Okay. Milk. M&M's, milk chocolate, Cupid mix, unicorns, Pet Surprise Farm Collection, flamingos. They have mints that are in. Oh, Boston, America. Simon says, sour candy tin. Huh. Fruit splash gummy candy. Ooh, milk cookies. Ooh, chocolate. Reese's snack. What? Reese's snack cake. What's this? Oh my gosh. Reese's snack cake. Special edition 2020 new release. Just released in September 2020. No. Wait. What is in it? I see peanut butter. Those cakes. Okay, it looks like chocolate and peanut butter with chocolate on the outside. Oh my gosh. Can I buy this at my local store? Oh my gosh. We'll get back to the subreddit in a minute, but I'm looking at this right now. I'm really curious if I can buy this at my local store. I really want to. It looks so good. I want to at least try it. I'm gonna just hang out for a while and see if it pops up in the store because I don't want to have to order it specialty online if I don't have to. So I'm just going to hope that it pops up in the store right now because I've seen like tons of other candies that I wanted to try that I thought were cool. I found them online and then they like pop up in the store or just like, food. Snickers peanut butter brownie. Wait, Snickers has a brownie? Oh my gosh. Everyone has some really good stuff that I want to try. Okay, I really hope this stuff is gonna pop up at my local store. Hershey's chocolate dip pretzels. Oh my gosh. Oh, there's candy that looks so good. Oh my goodness. Okay. It's a freaking brownie. It's a Snickers brownie. It looks fucking bomb. Chocolate chip cookie dough. Chocolate chip cookie dough Pop Tarts. Oh my gosh. Oh, this website is so cool. Chips Ahoy Reese's Pieces. What? Chips Ahoy Hershey's. No way. Dude, there's so many delicious things on this web. Oh my gosh. I hope this stuff's gonna pop up at like my local supermarket. Alright, I have to fill my water, so give me a minute. I'm not done recording yet, just FYI. Okay, bye. Did you hear what I said? I'm stuck there, just weren't looking. No, I'm trying not to talk to you. Alright, see you later, bye. Say, baby, I love you. Better say my name, say my name, say my name. No one is around you. Say, baby, I love you. Why the sudden change? Ooh, that looks good too. Ooh, there's more. Oh my gosh. Oh, there's so many delicious looking things. Oh my gosh. I want some. Ooh, what the fuck? There was an arrow bar from a different country. Trump's arrow Luftschockolade Volmich. Okay, I don't think it's an actual arrow bar. I think it's just another candy bar named Arrow. What the hell? Mentos has like chocolate now. Choco, caramel, and chocolate. This is so weird. There's a lot of interesting stuff on this website. Dove. Oh my gosh. Lava cake Hershey's. Lava cake Hershey Kisses. Reese's Big Cup stuffed with pretzels. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm totally bookmarking this for later. No, not that. Not that. There's a lot of good stuff. I hope that Reese's snack cake is gonna pop up at my local supermarket because I really want to try it, but I don't want to have to order it specially from this website. Although I probably will if I have to, let's be quite honest. Toxic waste. Okay. That's not what I thought it was. Oh, a dunking set. Oh my gosh. Interesting. They have Pop Tarts Bites. Cool. Hershey's milk chocolate cookie bites. Oh my gosh, that sounds delicious. Ooh. Wow. Hershey's cookies and chocolate. Dude, everything sounds so good. Oh my gosh. Sorry if the lighting changes. My mom's just turning lights on and off as she needs. Coconutty dairy milk cookies. Oh, that's not a cookie. That's a chocolate bar. They have a blueberry chocolate bar. What? They also have like a ton of different like Kinder surprise eggs and chocolate eggs. Oh my gosh. It all looks so good. Ding Dong's Caramel. Three Musketeers fun size. I love Three Musketeers. Oh my gosh. Hershey's milk chocolate pretzel bites. Wow. There is a lot happening on this freaking site. I just need like another minute or two. I want to keep looking and drooling over delicious things. We'll get back to the entitled parents in like a minute or two. Oh, thank God. All right. Okay, this one is not what I find delicious. This one is just what the fuck. Pickle cotton candy. Why? Oh, Henry level up bar. Yeah, well, Bake City brownie, double chocolate, Bake City muffin, banana nut, birthday cake, blueberry, espresso milk chocolate, not espresso milk chocolate, protein double chocolate cookie. Yum. Oh, there's a chocolate chip cookie. Wait, I have cookies. Peanut butter baking chips, Reese's. Yeah, that's it. Ooh, oh my gosh. Hershey's cookies and cream drops. That sounds really good. I actually have Hershey's Kisses in the cupboard right now, in my cupboard. Hershey's cookies and cream cookie bites. Oh my gosh. Hostess chocolate cupcakes. Well, Hostess chocolate cupcakes. I can literally just buy a big package of those at my local grocery store though for like the same price, like $2. Um, um, God, everything looks so good. Milka chocolate wafer, astronaut ice cream sandwich, Neapolitan, Mary Bob Ross Christmas sweater tin. What? Dungeons and Dragons +1 cherry potion candy. Okay, sure. My Little Pony chocolate egg with Twilight Sparkle's head on it. Hmm. Haribo Fantasia. Frutella. Boston America. Mr. Meeseeks. Box of blue raspberry sours tin. Oh my goodness. They have some really delicious looking things. Oh, Hershey's milk chocolate cookie bites. Oh my gosh, I want some. They have poppin' cookin'. In case you guys don't know, poppin' cookin' is like this Japanese thing where you can just make it's like a teeny tiny little meal. And I've seen Shane Dawson do a bunch of them. So, yeah, basically it's like this teeny tiny meal that you make yourself, essentially. SpongeBob gummy Krabby Patties. Okay. Ho-Ho's, Zingers, uh, Ho-Ho's and Zingers. They have Zingers? No. Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes, yes, yes. Zingers. Oh, I've been looking everywhere for these. Oh my gosh. I'm bookmarking this for later, like this specific page, so that I can come back to see the Zingers and possibly order a couple. Okay, I feel like I'm done. I feel like I should be done with that. Okay. I think we're going to just I think we're gonna go to the next subreddit that I wanted to go, which is insane parents. Oh, screw right off. Insane parents. Okay. Insane. Oh, there we go. Insane parents. 1.2 members. Yay! That means there's going to be tons of posts. Monthly user mega thread. Memes aren't allowed here and posting will result in a temporary ban. Uh, I, female 20, don't answer my mom's FaceTime call because I'm in a class via online, and my crazy mom refuses to believe that. Let's see what we got. Sounds like something nuts. Sounds like an insane parent, which is exactly what the subreddit is meant for, and is exactly what I'm excited about seeing. Mom, I thought classes were online this week, so FaceTime me and let me see your room. It's called Zoom and homework. Okay, well, isn't it class over? It's 11 o'clock. I want to see your room. I want to see. I'm excited. Are you kidding? And then and then she doesn't respond, and we have her, and then her mom says, "You are the rudest bitch. Get ready to pay some money on the school come Tuesday, or you will be kicked out of all your classes. Take care." I was doing homework. I'm timed. Holy jeez. Okay. All right, let's see what else we got. That was that didn't seem compared to some of the other stuff that I've listened to when I've heard some channels through like r slash and stuff, when I've seen insane parents videos like Long Nail and stuff like that. And yes, that's actually his name. His name is Long Nail. So anyway, that seemed like kind of more warm-up material. I mean, she did snap and say, get ready to pay some money on the school because her child didn't respond to her, but it seemed a little bit like warm-up material, how crazy the subreddit can get. So, I, 24 female, told my mom that I was filing my taxes independently this year. She falsely claimed me as a dependent last year, which I didn't realize until I didn't get a stimulus check. And this is the result. I'm on her insurance and family phone plan, but pay all my other bills on my own and live alone. You better call your school and pick up health insurance. If you don't want to be my dependent, then that's fine. I'll save my money and not pay for your health insurance. And you can call Verizon and get your own damn phone too. Next time you run up $88,000 in uncovered medical bills, you can pay all that, of course, too. All I told you was legally you are not allowed to claim me. I don't know why you are mad at me for the law. What kind of ungrateful daughter says they want to do something to put their mom in jail after everything I've done for you? And you don't give a shit about me. Get your own insurance. I'll save my money this year since you don't care and want to be. Yeah, that was nuts. Oh my gosh. Some of these parents, I know I don't seem like I have much of a reaction, but maybe it's just because I'm used to it because I literally grew up with an insane parent for the first 15 years of my life. So I guess we'll see. Like, I've heard a lot of insane parents, including my own. My goodness. R slash insane parents is a weird place where you can post those crazy parents who post in those woo woo anti-vax groups on Facebook and do things harmful directly or indirectly to their children. Things posted here do not have to be physically abusive. Abusive and insane are not mutually exclusive. The anti-vax mom, isn't legally abusive, but she's insane for not vaxing her kid. Okay, I listened to some of the video. If all this is true, then what is the solution? How should we act? Let's invoke the light of God every day. Oh my gosh. Here we go. um, that Trump and the White Hats will drain the swamp that is wide and deep. Today, the corruption and crimes against humanity will be revealed. I know we have very different political affiliations, but pray we'll see the birth of the United States with new freedom. Do not get that microchip poisonous vaccine that makes you sterile at any cost. Please. Okay, so we have an anti-vaxxer mom, which I didn't think it would take this long for us to get one, and we've literally read 3 posts. But she literally says, let's invoke the light of God every day. Like, I hate it when, I absolutely hate it when, and I have some bias towards this again because I grew up with it, but I absolutely hate it when parents just use religion to act crazy and get you to do what they want. It pisses me off. I hope neither of my parents have a Reddit account. Let's see. Fuck you. My child is fine. The child is co-parenting their younger sibling for 14 years. It's like they have to have a relationship with their father who they don't really like so he won't die earlier than expected and can't properly express themselves. Fuck you. My child is fine. The child doesn't complain or express their emotions healthily because they have to be the adult even when their parent is around and has been like this for 12 years now and just became really good at hiding it from other people. Fuck you, my child is fine. The child lost all trust for adults because the one adult that is meant to protect them has put them in bad situations time and time again. So they've become skeptical of every adult, even when they've proven wrong because they've been wrong so much. Yeah, that's essentially insane parents in a nutshell. And that's exactly how parenting does not work. That is literally the opposite of how parenting works. And that is also exactly pretty much how my that is exactly how my relationship with my dad went. I was looking after my brother because our mom was not around because she wasn't allowed to be, and the one parent that was there was absolutely nuts, and there was also another person there, but she wasn't a parent, and she was also just as insane as my dad. So that wasn't going well. So I literally had to parent my brother. I literally had to be the parent and look after him and make sure that he was okay and make him happy because my parent refused to parent because my parent refused to parent. And now I don't have any trust for people, and now I have such a hard time trusting people, and I couldn't even have my own opinions on things because we're not allowed to like something that my dad doesn't like, and we're not allowed to dislike something that my dad likes. That's literally how it went. Uh, that's literally how it went. So, like, that's literally how it went, and that's what happened with my dad. So I have no trust for people now, even adults who should be trustworthy, like my mom. But I just have such a hard time believing what anyone says and trusting people. And I literally was parenting my brother for like 11 years. And on top of everything, my dad was absolutely insane, and he didn't get me diagnosed with autism, and I wasn't even allowed to have my own opinion. Otherwise, if I had an opinion that was different from him, he would make fun of me about it. And he didn't even get me diagnosed with autism. I'm not kidding. He literally, my mom told me the story later, but uh, my dad came to me when I was like 7 or 8 years old and said to me, "Your mom thinks that you're retarded." By the way, I absolutely hate that word. Can it go away? Can it just be a word that's not okay to say, like the N word? But regardless of anything, my dad came to me and basically said my mom thought I was that. And later, my mom told me the whole story, which was that she went to my dad saying that she thought that something was like up with me, that she thought maybe I had some learning disability or autism or something. She actually thought that I had autism, but of course, my dad didn't want to listen to anything that she said because he didn't want to believe that anyone was right except for himself. So he literally refused to get me diagnosed with autism or to even get me checked up. And it took me another 10 years to find out I had autism because he didn't want to do shit about it. And that story pisses me off every time I think about it. Like, I absolutely hate it, and it makes me so upset. Sorry, someone just went by. It makes me really, really upset. And if he had gotten me diagnosed with autism, I probably would have had a totally different life. But then I also just think about like how he would have probably treated me if I had autism, and it was probably a good thing that I didn't get diagnosed at that age because he probably would have treated me way worse than he was treating me now. He probably would have treated me like exactly like what he said I was, and spoken very slowly to me and just condescended to me for my entire life, or just been a total asshole, because that's what people like that do. It's fucking insane, and I hate it so much. But I couldn't express any emotions or opinions because I wasn't allowed to. So, like, whatever. Mommy dearest swipes stimulus and lies about listing myself 24 female as a dependent for her own gain. Oh, I think this is the story that happened before the other story, because we saw her her telling her mom not to claim her as a dependent. So let's see what we've got. Did you claim me as a dependent on this and last year's tax returns? No. 100% sure? Not sure. And then she sends her um this, which I assume is proof, or maybe a lot of swear words. I'm not sure. Wait, there is a similar there's a similar subreddit that I want to check out, because this is literally me raised by narcissists. for the children of narcissistic parents or slash raised by narcissists. This is exactly my childhood. Holy shit. Okay, let's see what we've got. Oh my gosh. Okay, today I learned something that made me feel less horrible about myself. I love that feeling. Today I learned that sometimes a relationship with our end parents, narcissistic parents, whether we distance ourselves from them or avoid contact or choose not to talk to them and associate with them, is merely a reaction to their action. It doesn't mean we are bad people. We are just trying to preserve our sanity and mental health. Hope this helps anyone struggling with guilt out there. It made me feel better, and I hope you do too. It does. I learned that a while ago. I learned that it's not my fault that I want nothing to do with my dad in the future. Not that it matters because I haven't heard from him since Child Protective Services took us away. And he did give us one last call while we were kind of in foster care, but I don't know if it counted. We weren't exactly in foster care yet, but anyway, it was a whole thing. But I haven't heard from him since I was like 15, so essentially I haven't heard from him for 11 years, which makes me really happy because my goodness, he was the worst. So after 16 months of NC, my N bomb tried changing my Amazon password using security questions. So much has happened since our last conversation ended on a very bad note. In 16 months, my life without her has changed by about 1,000-fold. I'm working full time even during COVID. Good for you. Wow. I don't know if you're working as an essential healthcare worker or not. I've definitely seen a couple of posts from people who are working as essential healthcare workers, but whatever you're doing, that's amazing. So you're probably either an essential healthcare worker or you're an essential business. Either way, I thank you so much for working because that's amazing. Like whatever service you're providing is obviously very important. I don't know, maybe you work for some delivery service or not because I've actually been ordering delivery somewhat more often since COVID started. Like I've gotten a couple of groceries delivered and I've also gotten food delivered and I tend to like increase my tip for the delivery people based on what I spend to make it a lot more than what I would usually tip them just because those services are so essential and so important right now. So I want to give them extra money for doing a good thing during COVID. But anyway, I have my own place, live alone, save money every week, and I'm able to make all ends meet with my bills. That's amazing. I'm so impressed. And that's an amazing thing. Good for you for getting away from your parents. That's pretty awesome. Like it's basically like I'm gonna be in my own place in a couple of months. If you don't know now, you know. Like I have an apartment lined up, so I'm gonna be moving out in March, I think. So I'm really excited. Uh, I've never felt more in control of my own life than I have these past 16 months. That's the most important thing. I'm also in therapy. I'm more physically fit. I doubt she would recognize me if she saw me. Fast forward to this morning, though. I was checking emails. Ooh, Subway coupons. Yes. Now I can get Subway. Okay. Um. Anyway, fast forward to this morning, though. Sorry, my mom was just coming back from something, and she checked the mail, and she just brought me Subway coupons, which means I can get Subway this week. So I'm really excited about that. So what I do is I wait for the Subway coupons to show up, and if I am correct, 0.99 cent foot long. There it is. I get a 0.99 cent foot. I get a 99 cent foot long if I order another foot long sub with any drink, and I get the exact same thing. And then I also get a drink because they have Sprite there, and then I'll usually get some cookies on the side as well. So that means I can order Subway this week. So that means I can get Subway on Friday, which is really awesome because I haven't gotten it in a while. I haven't gotten it since the last time I got Subway coupons, which is probably like 2 months ago ish now. So I'm really excited. But anyway, sorry, back to the story. I just got distracted because my mom dropped off food coupons, and every time that happens, I'm like, "Ooh, coupons! Now I can get food for cheaper." I was checking emails, and I got an alert from Amazon about someone trying to change the password. I immediately recognized the location and device, and I knew it was her. I denied the permissions to access. In March, she actually was able to get into my email using the security questions and actually sent an email to my therapist. But I put the fire out quickly. She's grasping for straws. I'm never letting her back into my life. At first, I entertained the idea with sending a card with money in it during holidays with no return address. Way, I need to keep the drawer locked. I know everyone is different, and people sometimes do change, but I'm going with my gut on this one. Anyways, I hope the rest of you had a wonderful New Year and a lovely day. The best thing I ever did was to escape from my narcissistic mom. I would not be the person I am today. She probably would have dragged me to the bottom of the deepest ocean with her abuse and negativity. Don't ever be afraid to cut loose and run out of your comfort zone. It's terrifying at first, but after it gets better, you start to look at life so much differently. Don't live in slavery. You owe it to yourself to be happy and to reach your fullest potential. Oh my gosh. Oh, and they have some resources on the side for suicide, r/suicide watch, hotline numbers, r/SW resources, hotline fact. That's really awesome. I love that. In case someone is struggling with anything like that. Managed to laundry. New adulting goal reached. Yay! Posting this here since I wanted to share this achievement. My mom always did everything for me and never taught me basic adulting things, so I had no idea how actually laundry machines worked. 25 male. Managed to figure them out in the end, though I did have a slight meltdown because someone moved my clothes when the cycle was done, and I thought I had broken some laundry rule everyone knew and had failed at adulting by having my clothes moved. However, my friend taught me where I went wrong, and I figured operating the dryer out on my own, slowly learning how to adult. Nice. I mean, it might get just saying it might get taken down because I don't think it belongs there. Like, I I don't know 100%. Like, I don't know if that's really a narcissistic parent post, so it might just happen. But anyway, all right, rant/vent. Death by a thousand cuts. Take a lot of things narcissistic parents do individually, and it doesn't seem like much. Just a little comment or just one thoughtless action. This is why it doesn't like abuse to outsiders or to people who occasionally pass through. They don't see the constant hot, cold attitudes, snarky remarks disguised as jokes, criticism for your own good, thousands of forgotten promises and empty words, and flat out neglect. All things that my dad did. You're slowly flayed alive, and sometimes it's through such innocuous means that even you don't realize how much you're hurting. Only now, in a healthy relationship with a healthy person, have I been able to recognize how horrible they were to me. I feel like I've woken up for the first time, or like I'm a living person looking back at fake memories, like watching a TV show. They robbed me of 2.5 decades, and I'm still unpacking things that happened and how bad it actually was. Yeah, that's pretty messed up. That's essentially what it's like. Managed to escape. Yay! Alright. Hi, I'm a 24-year-old male writing this from my hotel room right now. Came across the subreddit a few months ago and realized my situation and started preparing. That's always nice when you're like, when you realize that, oh, wait, this is my situation and I need to get out because this is toxic and terrible. A few days ago, my narcissistic mom dropped a lease contract on me just so she could buy a third house and commanded me to sign it. I bought time by saying I needed to read it and look up laws. I know where she keeps my papers, so I booked a hotel. I have no close friends, and I wasn't expecting this to happen, so I didn't have an apartment ready. Took them, packed my suitcase, and left just a few hours ago. Called the police, and I told them I'm not missing. It's a bummer that I'll have to cancel my road lessons and road test. I don't have my driver's license yet, but it's all cheap compared to my freedom. I plan on using my narcissistic mom to take me the driving road test, then escape once I got a car. The instructor isn't nice and thinks my mom making sure where I am 24/7 is being caring. Your mom really cares a lot about you. Dude can fuck off. Any advice on getting an apartment quick is really appreciated. I'll have to look for an apartment ASAP. I had applied using that tenant cloud to a place, but the owner hasn't responded, and I literally have zero skills on this. I plan on getting Airbnb. I plan on getting Airbnb for a month if I don't get an apartment by the end of this week. I'm free now and free forever. Free to finally grow into a proper adult, get a girlfriend, and have a wonderful life. That's awesome. I'm really happy that you figured that out and that you were able to get out. It's always nice. Why do nice parents act like providing basic care makes them good parents? My narcissistic mom is always saying how good she was to me and that I should be thankful that she fed me and provided me clothes and shelter. That's not impressive. That's like bare minimum for parenting. And she wants to act like she sacrificed so much. Even prisons and foster homes provide these things. Yes, I got toys and games and stuff, but I never got what I really needed and what really makes me a parent and what really makes a parent, support and affection. Never once did my mom have a chat with life about life with me. She only ever bought me things and expected that to be enough, like I was a dog. Parents, you can buy your child millions of dollars worth of things. That does not make you a good parent. What makes you a good parent is, giving them your time and your love and your support. That is what they truly need. Like, no matter how much money you spend on them, it can never compare to just, loving them and supporting them in their life. My narcissistic parent always needed my narcissistic parents always needed to meet my friends' parents before allowing me over or their child over. I used to think it was an overprotective thing or that they just wanted to make sure that all contact information would be shared in case of emergency. But lately, I'm pretty sure the reason was more sinister. I'm pretty sure they wanted to meet these people so they could be all bubbly and kind and reasonable in front of them. I'm pretty sure they wanted to make sure to discredit me before I had a chance to speak up about my home life, so that if I ever mentioned the horrible, fucked up things they did to me at home, that I would seem like some overdramatic liar. It also discredited their kids in case they saw something and reported back. Whatever that child said would not align with the people they met. Every day I remember something and I see the evil intentions behind their actions and I'm just shocked. Imagine being so terrible to your child that you have to do preemptive damage control, and it worked. They would say or do horrible things in front of adults that would do nothing. My dad literally smacked me for saying, huh, in front of my principal, and that man acted like nothing happened. They were so good at being abusive to me. Oh man, I had my friends come over once. I finally got some, and that was a huge mistake. My dad went narcissistic parent all over the situation. It was horrible. Tell me if you guys ever want to hear that story, and I might even post it. I actually might even post it on the subreddit. I actually might post a lot on this subreddit because I have some narcissistic parent stories that would make their toes curl. My goodness. Every time I doubt my decision to make oh every time I doubt my decision to back away from my mom, I remember the worst thing she ever did to me, not doing anything. TW sexual abuse. I think we're gonna skip that one because it might honestly trigger me and feels like the kind of thing that I would not be okay with. So I might have an anxiety attack, and I don't want that. Healing from childhood trauma is so different. I am only now beginning to understand the abuse that I endured at the hands of both parents and step parents alike. And when you have to reframe your entire childhood, it starts to get so incredibly confusing. My parents divorced when I was young, and for all intents and purposes, I considered them good parents when I was a child. My dad met my stepmom when I was about 6, and things started to go downhill from there. I knew that she hit my brother with a brush so hard he bruised. Ugh, he was 5, and that she used to dance around in my skirts, taunting that she could fit them better than me. I was 12. She also used to scream at us about our mother asking if we knew what a horrible person she was. And a memory that I had repressed that has only come to mind recently was of her and my father putting my brother and I in the bath with them with everyone naked. This woman was practically a stranger to us. My father started with the verbal and emotional abuse directed at me from a young age. Same. He would tell me off for not calling him and guilt me into feeling terrible for forgetting I was about the age of 10. This would get much worse as I grew into adulthood and started to look like my mother. He hated her for leaving, and I have no doubt in my mind that this has now been redirected to me. When I turned 17, I called him sobbing over our lack of relationship and he hung up on me. After this occurred, he tried to gas himself in the family garage, which basically means that he turned on the freaking car in the garage and just let it run. My grandmother called me to tell me with no consideration for how this would impact me, and for 10 years I would hold the guilt around it being my fault. I've always felt so intensely uncomfortable in his presence, like he could not actually see me and he was viewing me through this confusing sexualized lens of my mother. When I turned 23, my stepfather cheated on my mother and it sent her into a suicidal breakdown. He called me one day telling me that if she died on the way home as a result of running in her car into a tree, it would be my fault for not being there for her. This continued on for nearly 6 months, in which she would forget to feed my youngest brother and call me, telling me that she wanted to die while I tried to talk her off a ledge. Finally, her best friend called to tell me that she had found the night previous and that she had found her the night previous in the bathroom with a knife, and that was when I threatened to call an ambulance and the police. After this happened, my stepfather would played a parental role in my life for over 10 years left and never spoke to me again. While this only touches on the many things my siblings and I have been through, I feel as a somewhat confused 30-year-old trying to navigate my life. I have only started therapy this year, and it took telling a professional for me to start to finally understand the trauma I had endured at the hands of my parents. As I start to unpack this in therapy, I'm finding myself having nightmares, uncovering repressed memories, and having panic attacks triggered by anything that directly relates to my experience. While I am grateful to be in therapy, trying to navigate that trying to navigate this, it is so challenging. I've cut my father off, although he tries to stalk me through social media channels, so I'm consistently blocking him. My mother is only now starting to remember what she put us through, as her mind literally shut down the memories for her to be able to cope, meaning often have to explain to her just how bad things got. I am the eldest child, and trying to navigate this myself with consideration and respect for my siblings is a whole other ball game. I am not quite sure what the purpose of expressing this was, but I felt the need to connect with other people who are battling the same thing. Trying to adult work, do therapy, and navigate all these new thoughts and feelings is so exhausting. Wow. Yeah. It definitely is difficult to have to talk about all that and deal with that. Like there'll be times on random when I remember like some little memory of something crazy that happened with my dad, and I'll basically just like tell my mom about it, and she'll be like, "Wow," because it's so insane, like the amount of stuff she doesn't know about because she literally wasn't there for a lot of my life. But anyway, okay. Does anybody else have trouble asking people for things as an adult? I just had to ask my housemate to keep the noise down, as he's keeping me awake late at night. He was completely fine and apologized, but it felt so uncomfortable to ask him this simple question for fear of being shouted at or dismissed. Um, I don't, I don't have, I don't feel scared to ask people for things, but I do have this thing where sometimes I just have trouble dealing with certain things or like doing certain things because of the trauma and because of I'm worried about the reactions I might get. Like it's definitely a concern, and I feel like anybody who's had really bad experiences with their parents will that are affected by trauma will have something similar to that, where they just have trouble in certain situations because there's certain triggering situations, and it just makes them afraid. Was anyone else genuinely surprised when their friend's parents actually seemed to care for their kids' feelings, even on the smallest matters, and not everything was about them, the friend's parents? I kid you not, I was so surprised when I was 12, the first time I had been allowed to go over to a friend's place, and her mom accidentally broke the friend's snow globe, and then she apologized to a kid. My mind went literally blank. The only thing going around it again and again and again was, OMG, she's an adult apologizing to a kid, what kind of place is this? And I actually thought the family was weird. When I compared them to my mom, I was sure my mom would have found a way to blame that on me or been like, it's just a snow globe. Don't go sentimental about that thing. Also, do you value that globe more than your mom? But I didn't find anything wrong with that at the time because to me that was just how all adults were. So I thought since my parents never allowed me to go over to anyone's house, even my cousins, and because of this, I had no idea this wasn't how all adults behaved. Oh, and another thing I want to ask is that is there any chance for narcissistic parents to reform? Because even though I'm 16, almost 17, I feel like the way they are controlling my every step and every move, I would be stuck with them for a long time. And in my country, even if a child turns 18, they are still under their parents' control. Oh, shit. Also, if I moved out, I wouldn't have any financial resources to pack me up, as my parents don't give me any pocket money or allow me to do a part-time job. They haven't even bought me a phone at 17, so you can see how bad this is, lol. And I really want to know if there's any chance for narcissistic parents to reform. Oh my goodness. I am sorry about the law in your country. What country is this where the child is under their parents' ruling? And when do they become their own person? When do they get their own freedom, if ever? Like this seems like a fucked up country that you have to do whatever your parents say, even if you are, even if you're you're 18. Like it's ridiculous. Ugh. I'm so happy that when I was over 18, I was able to break away and like have my own life. Like I love my mom like a ridiculous amount, but sometimes she's just kind of hard to deal with. And it's honestly a lot sometimes like it's stressful. She's like cutting into my business and trying to I know she only does it because she cares, but like sometimes it's like let me live my life. Gosh. Anyway, no, so I didn't go over to friends' houses because I didn't have friends. So there's that. But but I did have this thing where when I would talk to my friends at school, because I did have like probably one or two friends every year. Like I would talk to people, like when I was talking to people about their lives, or when I was seeing people about their lives, like after I was out of this situation. Like when I was in foster care and seeing their family dynamic, I thought they were freaking crazy and weird, and it was so crazy. And then and then later on, I realized no, they weren't the ones that were crazy. My dad was the one that was crazy, and their family is totally normal, and that's the way that normal families should act, instead of just being being the way my dad was. But I get that, like the 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 behavior of like your narcissistic parent versus the behavior of normal families is freaking weird and it's insane, and that gap is like really enormous and insane. So all right, let's see what we've got next. Okay, ooh, what just happened? Why did they put you in the position of having to say no to their ridiculous requests? Rant and vent. Narcissistic mom doesn't give a shit about my job slash career and makes the dumbest requests. My E-dad, who has some health issues, had a doctor appointment today, and she updated via text what the doctor said. Nothing urgent, no bad news. She then follows up asking to do a quick Zoom. Lady, we've just talked for 1.5 hours 2 days ago via Zoom, and it's a Monday. I have a fucking full-time job, and I don't have time to Zoom with you. I've made this clear so many times that during the week I can't FaceTime or Zoom yet. She repeatedly asks. Then she will use this against me during her rants about how I'm so busy and have no time for family and how it could be possible. I don't even have 5 minutes to talk. How about you stop demanding my time and energy that needs to be focused on my job? It's like she can't even stick to one boundary I try and place and will manipulate it into how I'm a shitty daughter. Yeah, I totally get that. Like, literally anything you say or do, they turn it back around on you as the shitty person. Like, You can literally ask them anything or say anything, and they'll somehow turn it into your fault. It's really messed up. But that's literally what my dad did the whole time that I lived with him. Like, I was just talking to my mom about this last night. How no matter what came up, he would always turn. No matter what came up, or no matter what I said, he would always turn it around on me, and they turn it into a way in which I was the bad guy, or like turn it into some kind of insult towards me. It's the way they operate, unfortunately. Do anyone else's narcissistic parents ignore them for no reason occasionally? Basically the title. My narcissistic mother likes to randomly and dishonored by something minor like me buying milk with 1% less fat than she likes. Oh my goodness. Or stacking dishes not perfectly lined up, and then she stops talking to me for days and pretends I'm thin air. Sometimes I don't even know what was the reason of yet another ignorant strike, and when I attempt to find it out, I get greeted with "F off, you know perfectly what you did." And no, I do not know. Is this a common trait in narcissistic parents? If yes, how do you guys deal with it? P.S. I'm a young adult earning my own money for family groceries and paying the same utilities in the house, but unable to move out for now for the context. I hope you can move out at some point because that sounds like a toxic environment. And I didn't have any times where my dad would ignore me, but I definitely had times where he would be mad at me for something ridiculous or something that I didn't know why he was acting mad. And I would try and figure it out, and he wouldn't explain it to me, and I didn't, and it wasn't like I could just ask him because then he was just going to be a dick to me. So I was just stuck like sitting there wondering what the hell I did wrong. And I also had the kind of situation where my dad played favorites and my and acted like he loved my brother more than me in like every single situation. uh, okay. Uh, let's see how much time. Oh, all right. So I'm gonna be doing this for maybe another hour. I don't know, I don't know, maybe around 6. I'm gonna stop, but I want to keep going right now because this is fun and I'm enjoying it. I feel embarrassed as an adult living on my own, and yet I don't feel as though I can get rid of my family just yet. And I thought these stories might make me feel like triggered, but it's actually quite the opposite. They actually make me feel like it, like I feel bad for these guys, obviously, but it makes me feel good that I'm like not in this alone, that I'm not the only one with fucking crazy parents. Like so many other people are in the same boat as me, and it just makes me feel like close to these people because we're the same. We both have crazy parents who are shit. All right. I'm sick of my mother policing my words. So many panicked sentences starting with, "Don't tell." Leave me alone. Jeez. My mother keeps going on about how scared she is. There's a saying, life begins at 40. I told myself that my life began when I got my own apartment. I don't know though. I mean, I keep posting here tense as hell. I'm 30 now, and my mother takes such offense when I tell her that I don't want her as my representative payee. Uh. Last time she said, "Stop saying mean things about me." And then after I told her that I didn't say anything mean about her, she said, "If you don't want me to be the representative payee, I won't be it. I want you to have what you want." That was soon followed by her telling me about all the responsibilities that would go into me managing my benefits. The previous time that I had told her that I didn't want her as my representative payee, she had told me they may get someone to manage your benefits for you. Listen, I'm going to try and save money, and given that I get my benefits, the only possible way to save money is by putting the money into cryptocurrency. I tried saving the money that I've gotten since the fall of 2019, and I failed because being stuck in this apartment is so awful for me. Yeah, it sounds like a really fucking toxic environment. I love that they just have these suicide references on the left side here so that you can click on them. Like if you're feeling suicidal, please don't deal with it alone. There are hotlines. There are people out there who understand what you're going through. And if any of you guys are struggling with suicide, I'm here for you if you want to talk about it or, something like that. Like, or if you just, need someone to be here for you, I'm here. I know how you feel because I've been dealt with suicide myself for years now. Like I haven't dealt with them recently, but like I haven't dealt with them really recently, but I have dealt with them in the past. And I actually was hospitalized for several days because of suicidal threats that I made as well. So, okay. Anyway, someone on this subreddit advised that I post about how I'm treated differently and how that difference in treatment gives me suicidal thoughts. Please don't be alarmed. I won't act on those. I'm working on getting to a better life. Good. It's just so overwhelming at times, though. My brother used to say the semester my father wasn't in my life was the semester I did best in school. My father wasn't well in 2011, and I sure had to suffer then. Or how about my parents laughing at his stories about how he'd cut class in high school because if I didn't go to all my college classes because the abuse was so awful, I'd get hit by my mother when she'd return home from work. Or my parents would take my glasses and my car keys. Also, I once didn't feel up to going to class and my parents broke my door. When my brother had shared that he didn't go to some Jewish program, can't you just like call the police? Get them in trouble for breaking your property or, hitting you. Like, literally get them in trouble for the abuse. If you're under 18, then this is child abuse. And if you're over 18, then this is assault. And also the property damage of them breaking your door. Get them in trouble. Like, okay, I mean, if you're in a situation to do so, obviously, don't do anything stupid. Just like be careful about it, obviously. Otherwise, you're gonna get into a lot more trouble with your parents, and I don't want that for you. Like, I don't want that for anyone. So just be careful. But anyway, when my brother had shared that he didn't go to some Jewish program on Saturdays, I had felt offended because my mother had told the superintendent of the special needs school that I had to attend about that, and he had talked about how great it was that my brother was attending that. My mother had so proudly told my brother what my school superintendent had told her. My mother was calling my brother's wife while she was at a bachelorette party in Las Vegas. I couldn't help but feel offended then, too. My father would tell my brother, I'll see you in a few days. I left the house for a few days for my parents to lose their crap. Okay, this is clearly a situation of child favoritism, which happened to me. I had my younger brother, who was 4 years younger than me, and my dad loved him more than me. And it was pretty clear. But I don't know. But I really try never to blame him for it. He was honestly such a sweet and good kid, and I didn't want to, and just like he didn't do anything wrong, so I didn't want to blame him for it. Like, even though sometimes it was hard seeing my dad love him more, I know that it wasn't his fault. he obviously he obviously hadn't like done anything, and he hadn't done anything to make my dad love him more, and he wasn't doing anything on purpose, so he hadn't done anything wrong. Like he he wasn't purposely getting love from my dad, like or getting more love from my dad than I was. Like my dad, my mom thinks that honestly my dad just hated women, and I think she has a pretty good point. Um, okay. Being stuck in life will begin when I'm financially independent and living my own life away from my family. My $200,000 a year brother doesn't even pay his own phone bill. I will go no contact. I will go no contact one day. I felt so awful 24 hours ago and I slept the whole day. I was unable to do anything the whole day. I hope you didn't have COVID. Unless unless you don't mean like sick, but actually like just tired or something. Because I know how being really tired is. But being stuck in this apartment all day isn't a COVID issue. I don't love my family. My father has it worse. Guess what? My mother deflects when she tells him about that as well. My mother tells me, I take such good care of you. Like, fuck her, man. Yeah. Yeah. Like, just fuck her. Whether they're your parents or not, they don't deserve anything from you. And if they're not going to treat you with respect, they don't deserve to be treated with respect back. And regarding the title, I don't feel as though I can be rid of my family just yet. They mean the same thing, but people can interpret them differently. Mm, I need to eat. Sorry, guys, I was in desperate need of a snack. Alright, let's see what else we've got. Raised by narcissists. Mom forced me to hide my emotions. Mom forced me to hide my emotions because it wasn't manly. Now she's gone, but I don't even know how to feel emotions. That's about it. My mom would absolutely lose her shit if I showed any emotion, whether it be sad or happy, and she also pretty much forced everything she liked on to me to the point. Yeah, that's a lot like what happened to me. I wasn't allowed to be upset in any capacity. Uh, and we weren't allowed to have a different opinion from my dad, so that was essentially it. To the point where one time in like fourth or fifth grade, we got to dress up as a movie character for school, and she made me dress up as some dude from 22 Jump Street, and I didn't even know what the fuck that was. After she passed away from cancer, I began living with my grandparents after the time. Yes, my dad worked offshore, and I slowly began to realize I have no clue what I like or how to feel emotions. It's been a couple years since that, and now I know what I like and stuff, but I still can barely even feel emotions. Like, it's not like I'm trying to hide them. If anything, I'm trying to show them, but I hardly even feel anything. I usually just put up, I usually end up just pretending to be happy or sad or whatever whenever I think I should be feeling a certain way. Alright. What's something or a few things that your narcissistic parent has called you that you've never gotten over? Okay. I'm very interested. I'll start off here. 4-year-old me being called a sloppy hooker because I wanted pink. Holy yikes. That's the day I learned what prostitution was. No 4-year-old should know what that means. No 4-year-old at all. 71 me being called a little piggy for eating really quickly after not having food for 10 days. Are you serious? Who didn't feed you for 10 days? Your parents, I'm assuming. Why would your parents not feed you for 10 days? Can't you starve within a week? Or is that if you don't have water? I still turn away from people to chew my food. 12-year-old me being called the skate park whore for wearing winged eyeliner. Every time I put it on, her voice echoes through my head. So I make the wing just a bit bigger as a fuck you to her, lol. Oh my gosh, I have a similar situation with my hair. When I was younger, I was never allowed to cut my hair as short as I wanted because I was never allowed to have it cut past my shoulders because my dad didn't think that it was but my dad thought that, well, he never really told me why, but I'm assuming because he thought like shorter hair is gonna make you turn out gay or something stupid like that. Which honestly makes me wonder what you would think of my brother now since he's openly gay. um, but seriously, but after he moved out, like after he left and I was back with my mom, I was really excited to be able to cut my hair really short the way I wanted it. And like it's not just that, but it's also kind of a fuck you to my dad for never wanting me because I've wanted my hair short ever since I was really little. Like, I've wanted my hair short ever since I was probably 10 or 11, but I wasn't allowed to cut it that short. So this is a fuck you to my dad, and also I just have it short because I love it like that and I really want it like that. So, but also it's just like, fuck you, dad. I can do whatever I want. I can do whatever the hell I want now. Like every time, like every time I love my long hair, I'm also like, yeah, my dad's probably would go crazy. Like I think about how crazy my dad would go if he could see my hair now, and it's hilarious. Oof. Uh, Looking at this, so I hate how much of narcissist abuse is linked with I can't talk. I hate how much of narcissist abuse is linked with sexism. Looking at this Reddit, it feels like there are way more narcissistic dads than narcissistic moms, and I can't help but think how much of it is just shit men get away with everything because of male privilege. How much is just boys will be boys? How much of it would be avoided if women were empowered to be financially and emotionally independent? It feels like one of the biggest reasons my mom ended up here is the culture of seeing husbands as gods. All right. Interesting. But wait, you said there's more narcissistic dads than narcissistic moms here. I'm confused. Wouldn't there be more narcissistic moms than narcissistic dads? Or did you type that wrong? Anyway, doesn't matter. Gaslighting. Oh, we're reading this. I had heard the word before and I didn't really know what it meant. Today I saw it again in someone's post on this sub and finally Googled it. Reading the definition, just, I mean it, it describes exactly what my mother did to me, and there's a word for it, so it's real. What she's doing is a thing. I'm not crazy. Do you know how many times I had to tell myself my mother abused me? That was abuse. It was actually abuse. I know this. I'm not making it up. It's abuse. I mean, I doubt everything so much, but if I think about all of this in the first place, then there must be some of it that's true, right? But now there's a word for this. Uh, Every time I tried confronting her, that she did this or that, she would deny it. Some time ago, the last time I tried confronting her with things, even went as far as faking an apology. She never admitted any of it. She said, I'm sorry if I did that, but she did that. She just kept saying if, and it was messing me up so bad. She truly makes me feel like I'm completely insane. Like if I'm depressed today, I have all those mental issues. Well, first of all, she said I didn't have any real mental issues. Like I'm just reading stuff on the internet and inventing all of these issues about myself based on that. It has no roots. It's not the consequence of anything. I just happen to be like that out of nowhere. I'm so thankful school was obligatory, so I had the chance of getting out of this messed up environment enough to be able to take a step back and see what it was. So thankful that the little bit of outside world I could experience taught me that something was wrong in my family, because without that, I don't know where I would be. Yeah, my dad did that to me like a lot. Like all the time. My dad would gaslight me. He made me believe all he made me believe that my mom was the freaking insane one and that she was the terrible parent when in reality that he was. For daughters with narcissistic mothers, read this book. It changed my life. Hey, all 23 female here. I have deeply struggled to heal from the abusive narcissism of my mother, who I'm no longer in contact with. That's what you should do. You should cut all contact because people like this are toxic. Uh, I badly suffer with self confidence, views on women, interpersonal conflict with my own femininity, and trusting others, especially women. If you can relate to this, I highly recommend this book. It is about $10 on Amazon. It is very easy to read. It is well written, highly informative, and I found it to be constructive and easy to absorb. Truly, this book changed my life, and it feels wrong not to share it in this sub. I recently met my boyfriend's mother and sister, and without this book, I don't believe it would have gone as well as it did. I used to be utterly terrified of women and would typically come off as cold and disinterested as a defense mechanism. Now I'm able to speak to women and enjoy their feminine aura and even present some of my own. This book not only helped my social skills and confidence, but it helped me accept my own womanhood. I used to dress like a boy to be as different from my mother as possible. Now I dress more feminine and I have fun with it. I even get my nails done. That's a big step for me. That's awesome. Be well, everyone, and thank you for sharing your stories and struggles here. This sub is truly amazing, and I am so grateful for its existence. I do like the opposite of that. Like I told you guys that I wanted my hair shorter and stuff like that. My dad also forced me to wear jeans and contact stuff, but I actually do the opposite of that now. And I wear like basically what makes me comfortable. I have my hair as short as I want, which I love it short. I just actually wanted to get it cut, but I can't right now because everything's on lockdown and that stuff is closed again. So, but probably as soon as everything opens again, which is hopefully going to be in a few weeks, I'm going to try and see if I can get it cut somewhere. So that's going to be great. Like And yeah, so I basically know when I come for one. And I also wear glasses because I hate wearing contacts and they were really uncomfortable. And I think my eyes are just really sensitive. Like just like every part of me is really sensitive because of my autism. So my boyfriend and I are set to move out. Uh Narcissistic dad disapproves of my new apartment. I keep forgetting to read the name, but this is posted by Got No Eyebrows. That's good. All right. Narcissistic dad disapproves of my new apartment. So my boyfriend and I are set to move to a new apartment in a few weeks. My parents and his were excited for us, being as though we've been struggling to find vacancy anywhere in our area for 6 months now. I accidentally let it slip that we qualify for low income housing because I was laid off for COVID. He was not happy about this because he's materialistic and very much concerned about keeping up appearances. A few days later, I got some texts from both my parents. They had apparently driven through the neighborhood, and this is what they had to say about it. It's the ghetto. I saw a broken window. There must be criminals living there. It looks like the projects. We raised you to be better than this. We will be very disappointed in you if you find this apartment suitable to live in. You don't take government handouts. That's not how we raised you. You're above low income housing. I responded with, I didn't see anything wrong with the neighborhood. In fact, we routinely see kids playing in the street, people walking their dogs, bicycles left unattended, etc. when we drive through there. Due to the fact that it's low income, there's an even more extensive background check, and you can be denied for a large array of reasons, so I think we'll be fine. Keep in mind, our current apartment complex looks like a prison because it's all brick. There's beat up cars in the parking lot all the time. Cars are routinely spray painted, and the cops can be found here multiple times a day. This new complex doesn't look like apartments at all. It's just a long street with a bunch of regular, nice looking houses divided into upstairs and downstairs apartments. It looks considerably nicer than where we live. I didn't hear anything else about it from them for a few days, so I thought they had gotten over it. A few days later, my parents invited us to dinner. Sounds innocent enough, right? After pleasantries were exchanged and food had been ordered, they immediately launched into an hour and a half long tirade about how we don't make enough money, we're not scumbags who rely on the government for help, our friends and family are all going to judge us for moving there. We're going to be in danger because of the fact that we'll be surrounded by scumbags and drug dealers. None of these things were true, obviously, but they wouldn't let the conversation die no matter how many times we tried to sidestep it. Their updated advice to us is as follows. Instead of moving into this place, why don't you look for one that costs more money? Well, because we're in a situation where we don't have as much money as we used to. Well, you could just dip into your savings to cover the rent, right? Well, yes, I suppose we could do that, but that money is for emergencies. Also, we don't even qualify for an apartment that costs more than X dollars. If we don't make X dollars a year, we aren't even qualified to live there. You could always just get a cosigner for that. Okay, sounds good. Can you guys co-sign? Oh, no, 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 no. We don't have as much money this year, and we have a mortgage, so we can't. Yeah, sounds good, guys. We'll just ruin ourselves financially so that you guys can show off my flashy, unnecessary apartment on Facebook. That is so dumb. Oh my gosh, narcissistic parents. Oh, this sub is amazing. Just a reminder to those who need it, you don't owe your entitled parents a thing. Yeah, you don't owe them a thing. Just because they're family doesn't mean you have to put up with their shit. If they don't treat you right, then that's not their problem. That's not my problem. Like it shouldn't be the problem of the kids to deal with how their parents treat them. Hang on, I'm just searching something up because I'm curious if people have read this on their YouTube channels. So just let me look this up because I'm curious. R/ raised by narcissists. Ooh, Bumfries has read it, and so has Long Nail. And yeah, there's a few episodes of this. Wow. Oh my gosh. All right. When they never taught you anything but expect you to know everything, R/ raised by narcissists. And the video is by That's How I Roll. I roll. I love that. Thin privilege is real. Thin privilege is not being rolled around by Oompa Loompas. What the hell? more entitled parents, raised by narcissists. Ooh, there's a bunch of them. I'm really excited to add these into a playlist and watch them later. So, just a reminder, you don't owe your you don't owe your narcissistic parent a thing. I get the feeling it is hard knowing your parent is stuck in a narcissistic relationship, realizing it. Uh, but I think it is important to realize a few things. You can take a horse to the water. You can't make your enabler see shit like an adult. If they continue to behave the way that they do, then you are stuck. You really can't force them to. It isn't your job. Wear your life jacket first. Yeah, you like your enabler, but you need to save yourself. Your first rule in life is to save yourself from your narcissist. Only once you do that for yourself can you really go on to being happy. If you can save them later, that is one thing. If you can save them later, that is one thing. In the meantime, you have to fend for yourself. They were still complicit. I hate to say this, but my mom may not be an angel like I once thought. She was complicit in my abuse. Every time I vented to her, she had an excuse for my father's behavior. Every time I vented to someone else, she called me anti-family. Oh, my dear sweet Lord. My point is, it takes two to tango. Your narcissistic parent wouldn't have gotten away with their abuse if your enabler called them out. Oh my goodness. Yeah, some parents are enablers and some parents aren't. It all just depends. Some parents are trying to, some parents just want to get out of it but don't know how. Like, I know in my situation, my mom was trying to figure it out and trying to get out of it. But yeah, it freaking sucked. But, that's not always the case. All right. So we got because I'm really enjoying this is fun. Might go back to entitled parents or insane parents. Reminder, you will never convince your narcissistic parents they are wrong. No matter how good your points are, no matter how well made your logic is, they will never understand. And if you're the kind of person who likes to be right, even if not for ego, but for cognition, this will drive you nuts. And if you're super involved and don't even care about being right, you still never get any sort of acknowledgement for it. They will never take the blame. Yeah, that's what narcissistic people do. They just nothing is their fault. Nothing is ever their fault. The world revolves around them. Like nothing nothing they do is their fault and it's just all the other person's fault. Like anything you try and say, they're just gonna fire it back at you like it's all your fault. I didn't do anything wrong. They're just gonna find a way that it's somehow your fault and not theirs. Or, literally anyone else's fault. Like, it's crazy. Tertiary gaslighting. Okay, but is anyone going to talk about but is anyone, like literally anyone, going to talk about how therapists and school counselors tertiary gaslight you into believing your pathological parents are actually nice, if not absolutely noble, to be generous enough to abuse you and place our very rightful and valid infuriation on average teeny angsty rebel behavior when the scapegoat figures them out, then making them stay longer and give to the narcissist their supply and fluff them and then massage and boost their ego to the point of dropping. Okay, I've never heard of that kind of thing that happens, but yeah, I guess that could happen. Especially if the narcissist has, made themselves seem better to the outside people. Like, to you they're terrible, but to everyone else, they act like they're a freaking hero and, they're the best and they make everyone else believe they're the best. Like, I was obsessed with a dog movie, so my narcissistic mom got me a dog that I had no way of taking care of. Uh, that sounds like a good thing, like if they love you enough to get you a dog, but not in this case. Not in this case. Oh gosh, trigger warning, animal abuse. Never mind, we're skipping this one. Never mind. I like that they put the trigger warnings because that way, if anything, that might be a trigger for me, and this might be a trigger for me because my dad abused our animals. I'm running away in 2 weeks. I need advice. I have a problem. Oh shit. 15 male running away. I can't handle the emotional abuse anymore. My current plan is to pack a backpack with 3 sets of clothes, book a hotel room in a ho- book a room in a hotel for 2 nights on my dad's card, not go there, take $200 cash and stay in another hotel until I can make it to a domestic violence home. I will also buy a cheap burner phone with 1 month of a phone plan with some cash, no card. I need advice. Is there anything else I need to know? I have all my identification, citizenship card, passport, birth certificate. I have enrolled myself in a different high school. I enrolled myself in my current high school. I don't want any PMs. Just comment if I need anything else. I will post an update in about 2 or 3 days. Yikes, dude. That's, oh my gosh. That's intense. Let's see what else. See what else we've got. I don't know if you are in the US, but there are programs for teens in domestic violence situations, etc. Take a look at Urban Peak in Denver, Colorado as an idea of what I'm talking about. Check with these hotels to see if they will allow underage people to book a room. Be careful and watch out who you talk to. There are human traffickers looking for teenagers like you. Yikes. I currently live in Texas. Yikes. Jeez. Okay. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of shit happening. Yeah, oh, damn. All right. Yeah. Oof. Oh my gosh. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. This person has to run away. People are like commenting, don't run away. Some people are just telling him other things that he needs. Like, there's a lot going on in this comment section. Yikes. Does your narcissistic parent constantly forget what foods you don't like? No, I had this thing where my dad would try to force me to like foods that I really disliked. Someone's calling you. This is something that's been happening my whole life. On my birthday, my mom set the reservation at a seafood only restaurant, and I don't like fish. Yeah, I'm not a seafood person either. She'll make food on holidays and forget I don't like it, then gets mad when it's uneaten. Is this something you've experienced too? Hmm. Not with food, but definitely with other things. Like he'll do something and then like it's the same kind of situation. Ooh, despite going to Walmart often, I hate going at times because of the meat. I hate how I oversaw a child a month back getting their clothes thrown out of the cart because they asked, "How much longer are we gonna be here?" With the mom followed by, "Well, I'm shopping for your siblings too. If you can't wait, then you don't deserve this." I get there's a difference of having a kid being rude or spoiled, but Jesus Christ, the kid was looking down, asking quietly. I didn't get to see what happened after, but I think about him sometimes. Walmart is just full of these shitty ass parents I see so often. I know being told entering a Walmart is like entering another dimension, but oh my lord, it's more like entering a place with terrible ass parenting. It's weird how often I hear a mom, and specifically a mom, telling their kid like shit like, "I'm gonna beat you if you don't stop." Oh my gosh. Or you're not gonna have that to eat tonight, to a kid doing basic stuff like holding another box or walking more than 3 feet away to stare at something. I have seen kids with full on bad behavior, and that comes from them clearly being spoiled. And in those cases, I've never once heard a death threat or any major issue. I understand it's still terrible, but with these with with these cases, my God, I understand it's terrible, but that it but with that, it's clear that these parents already show control, and the kids usually have them on full on fear in them. On you have them on full on fear in them by the way they look, act, and talk, and I hope them the best. I understand in my area poverty can be a bitch, but that doesn't excuse terrible parenting and terrible behavior to their child. It never will. I agree, and that was kind of grammatically hard to get through, but uh, yeah. They say narcissistic parents breed borderline children, and sometimes even narcissistic children. What do you guys think about this? I feel like I definitely struggle with identity disturbance, and my brother seems to be on the narcissistic side for sure, perks of being the golden child. Yikes. Well, neither me or my brother are narcissists, but I definitely agree that growing up, it can definitely be a product of your environment where if your parents act like shit, you might act like shit. Let's see what we've got. I meant to include a trigger warning, a couple trigger warnings in my title, but submitted the post before adding them. Trigger warning potentially for animal abuse, eating disordered behavior, verbal abuse. Alright, we're gonna just read this and see how it goes. I only realized something was wrong and with the way my parents parented. What? Okay, that was weird. But if anything like bothers me, I'm gonna just leave. I realized there was something wrong with the way my parents parented me after I started dating my now husband 8 years ago. I'm 32, and for the majority of my life, I kind of figured that the stuff I was dealing with was just my parents being quirky, strict immigrants whose mindsets were rooted in the old country. It was natural and normal. It had taken me a long time to conclude that my parents were narcissists. My dad more so by a huge margin, but I think because husband and I will be starting a family soon, depending on how this COVID stuff pans out in the near future, of course. It's been on my mind more and more. Specifically, how I want to parent based on how they parented me and my siblings. Essentially, I want to do everything opposite. Here's some examples of events that show my parents' true colors and how I came to the conclusion that they're narcs. My dad cheated on my mom when I was a teen. My mom found out only me. I witnessed her break down and splayed on the stairs, literally ripping at her hair and tearing at her clothing because she was so devastated at the moment that she found out. I became her confidant and only support. My dad didn't know she knew. She made me drive my car by the homewreckers, henceforth known as HW House, several times a day. During that period, it lasted a few months, to see if my dad's car was parked in her driveway. She made me write threatening letters to the HW and mail them from another town. She made me call homewreckers' workplace several times, pretending I was a pissed off customer, to get her into trouble. She made me mail stuff to homewreckers' workplace stating lies about how she had committed crimes. I was a teen girl, upset for my mom beyond belief, so I just did all this stuff for her. She couldn't speak. She also couldn't speak English very well, so if she had called slash written those letters, they would have known it was her right away. I thought I was doing the right thing. Several months later, my dad, I guess, stopped seeing this lady, and no one ever brought up this period in our lives again. My dad wanted a dog, and out of the blue, he came home with a gorgeous Alaskan Malamute pup. He was not prepared to take care of her. She was very high maintenance and surprisingly needed more than being thrown into the backyard all day, every day. When he got tired of her ripping stuff up in the backyard, he took her back to the breeder approximately 6 months after we had gotten her. We all had to go on that drive, and I remember thinking I hated him for this. We'd gotten attached, we loved her, and now he was taking her away from us. Even then, I remember thinking that wasn't what a loving parent would do. I have a profound love for animals and pet ownership and fostering volunteering at a shelter. He nonchalantly told us she died a few months after we dropped her off due to cancer. Okay, that wasn't terrible. That wasn't terrible. I mean, it was terrible, but it wasn't exactly what I thought. I was always too fat or too skinny for him. There was in between. My youngest sister, who still lives with them, struggles with her weight now too. He openly calls her fat pig, yells at her if she goes near the kitchen, etc. She's 13. We're in the process. That's how kids get an eating disorder. We're in the process of looking for a house right now, first time home buyers, and we were pre-approved for a decent amount. I'm from a large Canadian city. To be honest, you can probably puzzle it together if you read into my history, and house prices are notoriously excessive around here. The amount we were approved for was in the high six digits without going into specifics, sorry. And since we want to live outside of the city now, finding something is entirely possible. We've been on 3 houses so far, and unfortunately, those have not worked out. My dad thinks it's pitiful that we're in our 30s and haven't bought a house yet, lol. And instead of only having high six digits for a mortgage, we should have more somehow. Anyway, we're failures because we don't live in a new build mansion, despite that not being what we want. If I don't answer his calls or text promptly, he will ignore me for days and days. Silent treatment is a huge weapon of his. Anytime someone from his side of the family has a birthday or anniversary, he texts me in the AM to make sure I call this person to say happy birthday or anniversary. If I don't, then he won't speak to me because I'm disrespectful to his family. I do want to note, though, his side of the family has always hated my mom and her side, and they've never liked us, the kids. I don't want to give the time of day to these people because they don't like me. But to my dad, appearances are the most important thing. Both my mom and dad, both my mom and dad argue the fact that my husband and I want a baby. We've had to put it off for various reasons, the main one being my chronic pain condition. We've always wanted to figure out a good plan for us before committing to having a child. But I've wanted to be a mom for as long as I can remember, and it pains me seeing so many happy friends and family members having babies like it's no big deal. My mom and dad regularly text or call me just to announce when someone is pregnant, and then they send me pictures of newborns in the family or friends' kids. Knowing I'm incredibly sensitive about the subject, both my husband and I have told them to stop. It hasn't registered, and they keep pushing for us to have a kid despite my medical issues. My dad found out I am medicated for depression. He thinks taking medication for depression is stupid. He doesn't believe in depression. He thinks I'm poisoning myself. If word got out I took depression medication, our family would be a laughing stock. Since there was a massive age gap between me and my youngest sister, 19 years, I essentially raised her. Mom and dad treated her as an afterthought, and she's basically been captive in their house since I moved out ages ago. She's not allowed to socialize with other kids her age. She's not in any extracurricular activities, prior to COVID, of course. As a result, she's an awkward, weight conscious, see above point kid who doesn't know how to express herself and doesn't have any interests. She's sheltered because they are too busy to vet the people she wants to hang out with, so it's easier for them to just say no and make her be alone all the time. My dad regularly and openly tells me I'm his favorite kid. Kid number two is a lesbian, living with her partner of 5 years, so he's ashamed of her. Kid number three dropped out of college, has mental issues. They refuse to let him see a therapist, though he begs them to. So he's a write off too. And kid number four is socially awkward and has no personality, thanks to them. He openly says these things in front of all of us. We came to Canada from a poor European country in 1997, and he holds this over our heads constantly. Like if it weren't for what did, we'd be poor and unhappy now, so we owe him our lives. He's sexist and believes women belong in the kitchen. Oh my gosh. My 13-year-old sister is expected to bring him his meal and remove his socks as soon as he's home from work, and my mother lays out his clothes every day to this day. So, in summary, I will do everything in my willpower to be the opposite of my parents. I want my children to be happy to talk to me, not feel pressured to do things, to know that I will be proud of them no matter what path they take. Despite being provided with food and shelter my whole life, despite the fact that he became somewhat wealthy after coming to this country due to keeping up appearances, though, he's in major debt now. We did not have the most important thing we needed and need as children, and I can't perpetuate that with my own kids whenever I happen to have one. Okay, with that being said, I'm not quite ready to be done. There was one more subreddit that I want to visit. I love this subreddit. There's only been a few subreddit because it's fairly small compared to a lot of subreddits. Like it has over 30,000 members, but it's definitely made so there's over 30,000 members, which is small for a subreddit. Like the the biggest ones have like over 1 million subscribers to that certain subreddit. So there's 32,000 members, and there's only 9 online last right now. So let's do this. Tree law. Okay. Tree law, legal advice off topic. Hmm. Okay. Sharing Reddit to streamer.com. Imgur.com. Okay. Tree law. Wait, it's an image. The fuck is this? Oh. All right. Oh no, the rare cherry tree. Oh no. The rare cherry tree Grandma brought with her from the old country. It's being chopped down, and only a week after my new neighbor complained about it blocking his view too. Hang on, let me just share this. Um, let me share this so that you guys can see it too. I want you guys to see this. Share screen. Share screen. Free law. There we go. I want you guys to see this. I'll change it back after, but I really want you guys to see this. Oh no. No, that we were brought with her from the old country. It's being chopped down, and only a week after my new neighbor complained about it blocking his view, too. Tree law? Tree law. Tree law? Tree law! Tree law! Tree law! That's awesome. Alright. Alright. A thing I wanted to share with you before we go any further. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna share this. Actually, I have to use the bathroom. I'm gonna be on here for like another half hour, so I'm gonna use the bathroom because I refill my water, and then we'll do like another half hour of credits. Tree lock, tree lock. I'm not done. I'm doing like another half hour, 45 minutes. Why? Late, but we're not like it's not like was hanging out yet. So
just so you know, though, I am taking my strength.
I'm gonna be off before 7, and if I'm not, then I'm gonna move it into my bedroom. Okay. Sorry guys, my mom just had to talk to me for a second. So I know you fill my water and or 45 minutes. Depending on, come on, freaking, okay, and then we'll do another half hour, 45 minutes of Reddit content before I get off. Uh, by the way, I want to get Subway on Friday since we have those coupons now. I haven't had Subway in a couple of months. I was waiting for the coupons to get here. Okay. Alright. Really long live stream, so I needed to take a break to do some stuff. We're gonna just do some more Reddit content. So, alright. I might have to move in my bedroom at some point. I don't think telling you that's something that could happen. Alright, let's see what else we got. So I'm gonna just share this. Share it with you guys. Share screen, Chrome tab. There we are. Okay. Am I the only one who thinks Rachel Green is a bitch on Friends? I think I hate Rachel Green the most on Friends. The reasons are many. Season 1, Ross tries to tell her what he feels about her. She meets a guy named Paulo, and in just 10 minutes, starts kissing him. I mean, Ross has loved her for over 10 years, and she falls for a guy with good looks after only 10 minutes. Believe me, she doesn't understand love. She dumps Barry at the altar, and towards the end of the season, ends up having sex with him. Whoa, man. Season 2, Ross is with Julie. She gets jealous with their relationship and gets back with Paulo for just sex. Even after Paulo hit on Phoebe in season 1, when Ross found out that Rachel loves him, he immediately breaks up with Julie to have a relationship with Rachel, and the next day she breaks up with him because she finds a list that points out her flaws. After some weeks, she again gets back with Ross. That's ridiculous, man. Season 3, she's not able to give and she's busy with work, but when Ross goes to her office to celebrate their anniversary, she throws him out of the office and later expects him to apologize. She and Ross take a break. Ross hooks up with someone else. When she comes to know about it, she gets angry at Ross and repeatedly taunts him on that fact. Ross tries to apologize, but she doesn't even listen to him. Ross would not have hooked up with the other girl if Rachel had not wished to take a break. Towards the end of season 3, Ross is with Bonnie, and Rachel again realizes that she loves Ross, so she advises Bonnie to go bald, which causes Ross to break up with Bonnie. It's evident that she is all but jealous. Season 4, she wants Ross responsibility of everything that went wrong in their relationship. She requests Ross to go out with Emily because she has to go to the club with Joshua. Wait, my mom is in the room. Wait. Hey, mommy,
What?
can you close your door so I can make this video? There are, but I know, but there are spoilers for Friends that I'm talking about. Mommy? Okay. I don't know what she's doing. Hey, mommy. Okay, what the fuck is going on? Okay, I'm gonna go over there. I want to make sure that I'm not spoiling tracks for you. Okay,
I'm here now. Okay.
okay. I'm just making sure that you don't get friends spoiled for you. Okay. Um. All right. She requests Ross to go out with Emily because she has to go to the club with Joshua, and then again feels jealous because Ross and Emily stay in Vermont to have fun, while she isn't able to have a relationship with Joshua. When Ross and Emily are getting married, she goes at the wedding and ruins it in the final episode of the season. I mean, why the hell does she feel the urge to tell Ross that she still loves him? Number 5. Season 5. After Ross's wedding and he's divorced, she tells him that she loves him, but she does not want Ross now because it is wrong to hit on a person after he's just divorced. Just a big wow. What else can I say? Season 6. Ross and Rachel get drunk and get married, but she is the one who wants a divorce. All this time she ruined Ross's life and the reason that she loved him, and finally when they marry, all she wants is a divorce. Poor Ross. She asks Ross not to date her sister, and she even asks Ross to hook up for a one-night stand just because Monica is engaged. She also burns down Phoebe's apartment. Season 7. Rachel is actually jealous because Monica is getting married before her. Season 8. Rachel is pregnant with Ross's child. What a surprise. She lets the friends watch her and Ross's sex tape just to prove that Ross was desperate for sex. so he made a move on her. In fact, it is revealed that she uses the magic sex toy to seduce Ross. In the later episodes, she finds her maternity life boring and says that she misses dating and going to restaurants with guys. She clearly gives priority to dating rather than carrying a child. In the last episode of the season, she creates a misunderstanding where she thinks that Joey proposed to her, and she even says yes to Joey after just having given birth to her and Ross's daughter. Boy, it's way too complicated. Season 9. Rachel gets a purely physical crush on Joey. She does not want to marry him but only have sex. Again, ridiculous mentality. Sorry. Season 10, she decides to go to Paris but does not even say goodbye to Ross, and later when she does say goodbye, they end up having sex again. After what a normal person would consider the sign of getting a relationship back on track, she gets on the plane to Paris without even thinking of Ross's love for her or how Ross would stay or how would Ross stay without their daughter. Had it not been for Phoebe's intervention, Rachel would have been alone in Paris. Clearly, she was about to choose money over relationships. Conclusion. Rachel never understood Ross throughout the series. She tried to screw his life and could. She always felt Ross should not be seeing other girls while she was single, whereas when Ross was single, she rarely cared. Ross waited and waited until he finally got her. This is why I hate her character the most. Don't worry, my mom has earbuds in, so she's not gonna hear us. She's moving stuff around. Um, and then we have another answer from this guy down here. Disclaimer: for the short answer, just read the bold text. Just read the text in bold letters. I believe it too. Here are some reasons. She left Billy at the altar. If she did not love him or did not want to spend her life with him, then she should have figured it out before their wedding day. Leaving a person like that makes her a bitch. After staying lost with Julie, she constantly behaved bad with Julie. Come on, Julie didn't do anything wrong. She just fell in love with a guy she likes. Feeling jealous of Ross being happy, even after knowing that Paolo hit on Phoebe, she slept with him just because she did not have any boyfriend at that time. That too without first talking to Phoebe. In a sense, she cheated on Phoebe. She never wanted to see Ross happy. According to her, if she does not have a boyfriend, Ross should also not have a girlfriend. When Ross was with Julie, she okay. When Ross was with Julie, she created the whole drama by drinking wine and calling Ross and telling him that she was over him. She ruined the whole happy-going relationship of Ross and Julie. When Ross found out Rachel liking him back, he broke up with Julie just for Rachel, even when there was no issue with Julie. But she broke up with him over a small issue of Ross making a list of her pros and cons. Ross was surely wrong and faulty, but she should not have broken up with him over this issue. Now Ross has neither Julie nor her. I would have slapped her on this point if I were Ross. When Ross Number 6. I would have slapped her on this point if I were Ross. Sorry. I'm just gonna... my mom's like clanging around in the kitchen. Hang on. So how's your guys' day? Clang, clang, clang. Clang, clang. Bang, bang. By the way, cool mask in your thumbnail. I know you're not still here, but cool mask. I like it. I'm so bored. Alright. Okay. That might be done. Yeah. Alright, I think she's done. Number 6. I would have slapped her for this point if I were Ross. When Ross and her are back together for the second time, Ross wants to spend their anniversary together. Who wouldn't? Well, who wouldn't? But Rachel is so busy at work that she cannot find time to spend this one of the most special days with her partner. The grammar in this is... Oh my goodness. The freaking noise. And the freaking grammar. Anyway, Ross comes to her office to celebrate a little with her their anniversary, which I believe is very cute of him, but Rachel is rude to him and kicks him out of the office saying she is busy, even after coming back home. Instead of apologizing for her behavior, she blames Ross for coming over to her office. Heights. Any woman would find herself... Heights? What? Heights? Any woman would find herself lucky if her husband or boyfriend ever does that. I'm sorry, I don't understand some of the grammar in this. I don't know what heights means. Ross, look, about what happened earlier. Oh, whoa, I completely understand. You were stressed. Rachel, I was gonna give you a chance to apologize to me. For what? For letting you throw me out of your office? Rachel says, you had no right coming down to my office, Ross. Over this incident, instead of giving it some time to be normal, she again unexpectedly breaks up with Ross. Was it Ross's fault for wanting to celebrate their anniversary together? No. Sleeping of Ross with the copy girl was a very big fault of Ross and cannot be fully justified, but here are some points that prove it was not totally Ross's fault. First of all, Rachel was the one who broke up with him. Ross did not want that. If that had not happened, Ross wouldn't have done that mistake. Since they want a break, yes, I believe it, because it's not like a break starts with the 3rd or 4th day after one couple breaks up. It starts from the first day itself. The act of Ross cannot be fully condemned. Also, Rachel herself had slept with tons of guys in her life before Ross, so what's the big deal? After breaking up, when Ross goes to a bar, she lets Mark come to her place, even when she knows that Ross is secure of him. Ross called her from a bar to work things out, but he heard Mark over the phone and thought that as soon as they broke up, she is now with Mark. He thought that if she had moved on, then why shouldn't he? He was drunk at the time when she made out with that copy girl. He was out of his senses. When he wakes up in the morning, he realizes that it was a big mistake done by him. Although, even after these points, I believe Ross was faulty, but I'm saying that it is not 100% his fault. Rachel was faulty too. Ross apologized a lot. Rachel should have given him some time and not broken up with him again. When she could not go out with Joshua and finds out that Ross is with Emily in Vermont, she gets mad at him. Dear Rachel, if you can go out with a guy, why can't he? Number 10, again ruining Ross's life. She goes over to London to tell Ross that she still loves him and to break up his marriage with Emily. Where was she before? When Ross is finally happy with Emily, why can't she let him stay happy? As well said by a fellow passenger in the plane. Passenger, I just want to say that you are a horrible, horrible person. Rachel, pardon me? Passenger, you're about to ruin the happiest day of his life. I have to agree with your friend Phoebes. This is a terrible, terrible plan. But he has to know how I feel. But why? He loves this Emily. No good can come of this. By the way, it seems to be clear you were on a break. If she had not gone to London, Ross probably wouldn't have said her name in the wedding, and Emily wouldn't have to feel so insecure for afterwards. But none of this happened. She went, which eventually led to termination of Ross's marriage with Emily. She even agrees to go to the honeymoon suite with Ross when Emily didn't show up. She tells Ross, who was just married to Emily, that she still loves him, even even after Monica warning her 100 times. Why does she want to confuse him? But the bitch does not want Ross when his marriage with Emily is over. Why? She's the reason Ross is now alone. The reason is Ross is now alone. She wants him only when he is enjoying his life with some other girl. When he is alone, she does not want him. When Ross is finally having fun with Bonnie, she starts feeling jealous again because she does not have her to go out with. So the bitch suggests Bonnie to bald her head to disturb their relationship. I wanted number 14. I wanted to ask on this. On the same day when Ross and Rachel decide to get back together, Ross goes and breaks up with Bonnie. When he comes back, instead of getting back together as they agreed upon, she wants him to take the full responsibility of what happened between them in the past by handing him over 18 pages front and back. If you had some conditions, why didn't you tell Ross before he broke up with Bonnie? If you had told him the conditions beforehand and Ross did not agree with it, he could have at least been with Bonnie. What is the point of telling him conditions after he already broke up with Bonnie for you? It was 5:30 in the morning. How can you how can you expect someone to read 18 pages at this time? That too when he had just broken up. C. Should Ross take the full responsibility? Ross was not totally faulty. There was some fault of yours too. D. Even when Ross didn't say anything, even reading the pages, why did you bring it back when you were in the bed saying, my mom said it once a cheater, always a cheater, and you needed some time to get a little perspective. Bitch, dear bitch, even if someone had accepted his fault, these lines would hurt anyone's pride. As expected from her, she again breaks up with him, leaving Ross alone again. 15. She said yes to Joey when she accidentally thought he was proposing to her. She just had Ross's baby. She flirts with Joey, and not in a serious way, just physical, even after knowing that he is one of Ross's best friends, and that would jeopardize their friendship. Number 17. She decides to go to Paris for a job. How can she do this to Ross? Ross also wants to spend time with his daughter, and he could not keep his son Ben. She does not even talk to Ross before deciding to go to Paris and taking Emma away from his father. She's totally insensitive to other people's feelings. Moreover, some of them are from other sources. 18. She asks Ross not to go out with her sister Jill. If Rachel is not going out with him, she has no right over Ross to force him to do that. 19. She slept with Barry, even after knowing that he is going to get married with Mindy. Number 20. She was never really thankful to any of her friends, not even to Monica, who supported her during her crisis. In fact, she openly expressed her sadness over Monica and Chandler's wedding just because she was still single and getting old. No good friend would ever say that. 21. She's jealous as well as cunning. During During the episode with Ross's girlfriend Charlie, one of the nicest people on the show, she did all the bitching and finally made Phoebe look like the culprit. 22. Monica wanted to date an actor in season 1, but Rachel started dating him and convinced the actor to have a threesome with another woman. 23. She dates Mark after adamantly denying ever having a thing for him when she was with Ross. Mark tells Rachel that he could not ask her out because she had been dating Ross. This proves Ross's insecurity about Mark correct in many ways. 24. She exchanges almost every gift she gets without realizing how people feel about that. 25. She was not professional at work either. She hires an unqualified guy, Tag, just because she likes his face and then sleeps with him. 26. She also said Ross came onto her while the truth was the opposite. She even started to watch a videotape to prove this was wrong. Number 27. She ruined Ross's special evening plans of spending time with Emily by throwing a fake on-the-spot party just to seduce Joshua. Oof. 28. She was a bitch in high school and was told by Louisa, season 1, from Animal Control, called by Rachel when she lost Marcel. She was pissed off with Rachel. Ugh. 29. When Brad Pitt comes as Will in one episode, he also hated Rachel so much that he and Ross co-founded the I Hate Rachel Club. Wow, that's intense. We can go on and make a long list of what we hate about Rachel. Refer the other answers here, you'll get enough reasons. But a person is so much more than a list of cons. There are pros to count as well. I'll share what I like about her. First of all, she's the most attractive character in the entire cast. We can debate on how Monica looked great in the first few seasons, or Phoebe is a much prettier in fun terms, but when it comes down to being consistently attractive throughout the show, I doubt if anyone would say it wasn't Rachel. Attractive will have an appeal that one cannot deny. Okay, so because she's pretty, that makes her a good person. Oof. Interesting. All right. Attractive. She's beautiful. Her fashion sense is on point. Her hair is amazing. Okay, let's see what the next point is. She came from riches to rags, and yet held her own very well. Yeah, she remained a horrible bitch. I mean, it was brave of her to do that, but that in itself doesn't make her a good person. And because she became from a spoiled young woman to a waitress to a very successful professional in the fashion world, I've heard people calling her dumb. How is she dumb? She was dedicated. She was hardworking and passionate at her job. She was professional and amazingly sincere in her job. No, she wasn't. She hired a random guy instead of a more qualified woman. She isn't afraid of being herself. She's bitchy. Yes, she is. Okay. Well, she's an amazing friend to have. She's linked so well with Monica. I mean, listen, there's some decent stuff about her for sure, but I don't know. I just don't like her. I don't like her at all. Why was Rachel the most beloved character on Friends? I don't know. Oof. Okay? Well, if anything, Rachel is far from being a bitch. She is one of the best characters from Friends. People literally so often tend to forget that she is also human. She makes her fair share of mistakes, and if any one of you is placed in those situations, you would do no better. She is the one with maximum character development throughout the show. From being a spoiled daddy's girl to thriving to getting her dream job to raising a kid, Rachel Green has shown us nothing is impossible. Yeah, I guess it might be normal for some people, but it was tough for her, no doubt. And being a bitch, dominating other characters, hell no. Phoebe called her a pushover, for God's sake. You think a pushover can dominate? I don't think so. Now talking about particular instances. Okay. I'm geared up. I'm ready. I'm ready to see why this person thinks Rachel's a good person. All right, the major thing, the we were on a break thing. Agreed, they were on a break, but that in no way justifies Ross sleeping with someone else just hours after that breakup. And being drunk doesn't justify her mistakes. It was the worst thing Ross could have ever done, making Rachel feel like shit. And to hear it from somebody else, I cannot even imagine how that must feel like. And after that, he never really owned up to his mistake. He was always adamant we were on a break. Not respecting Rachel's job, Rachel's priorities never meant not respecting Rachel's profession. Rachel's job, Rachel's priorities never mattered to Ross. On their anniversary, even when Rachel apologized and said she was really busy at her work, Ross did not really care. He had to show off, and Rachel had to be ready for him. On top of that, he expected Rachel to apologize for her rude behavior. In the end, too, he never cared about the magnitude of the opportunity Rachel was getting by going to Paris. Instead, he just played it around it by manipulating her boss. Bravo, Ross, bravo. This is not about how she's a good person. This is just about how Ross is a bad person. When Ross made a list about pros and cons of being with Rachel and sorry people, but that's not a small issue. When you are with a person, you expect that she will accept you as you are and not be judgmental towards her, and reading that list must have hurt like hell. She was so sweet when she got to know that Ross loves her, she went to the airport to pick him up with flowers. Yes, she was jealous of all the other girlfriends Ross had, yes, but it was because she loved him. She never stopped loving him, but she never let Ross feel that. And she never did anything to jeopardize their relationship with Ross. Hell, she even tried to save Ross and Emily's marriage when Emily made the most bizarre request that Ross will never see Rachel again. Feelings are a part of her being a normal human being, but her actions define her. Yes, and her actions have been terrible to have been terrible to Ross's girlfriends. She was clear about her thoughts, even if it meant writing 18 pages back and front about them. And if Ross was getting a second chance at being with Rachel after what he did, he should have savored it. But being the joke, he just didn't care. Okay, I don't agree with that. Yes, she manipulated Bonnie in cutting all her hair off, and that was a mistake on her part. But before Bonnie was there at the beach house, Ross was making hits on her. Doesn't that seem unfair? Okay, I kind of get that. She was an amazing friend. She was always there for everyone, be it comforting Monica and dealing with her OCD or giving Chandler relationship advice. During high school, too, Rachel was the popular girl and Monica was the odd one. Rachel always stuck by her side. Thank you for bringing that up. Thank you. That, like, I always thought that was really interesting because usually the bitchy spoiled girl wouldn't hang out with like the weird girl or the fat girl or, the outcast, but that's really awesome. Rachel always stuck by her side and did not give a damn about what anyone thought about Monica. She really loved her. Rachel is really perfect. No, okay, she's not perfect. I wouldn't say that. She was a really strong person to go through this journey. She always spoke what was on her mind. She valued other people. She was never afraid of admitting her mistakes. She was an awesome mother, and yes, there are not enough words to appreciate her. I really believe that if this is being a bitch, then bring it on. This bitch is my role model, and I love her. Are there any more comments? Okay. And more than one answer, it was pointed out that Rachel was a single mother. Okay. Oof. And one answer even was worded, Rachel was a single mother to Emma. It uses the word single and single mother like you would. Rachel was a loving Emma. Rachel was a devoted mother to Emma. Single mother is not a character trait. It's an objectively defined description of a familial unit and marital status. It's a census bureau status. Single mother is not some life choice or some kind of virtue to be admired. Yes, you can infer virtue and positive character traits based on how a woman overcomes being a single mother when, through no fault of her own, like being widowed or randomly abandoned by her husband, now revealed to be a closet sociopath who prior had outwardly only been a loving provider, and not when single mother is a direct result of irresponsibility, impulsivity, reckless decision making, and disregard for consequences. Not when the lack of morals and the lowest standards means choosing to get involved with a useless deadbeat, a low-life scumbag, and the human form of one giant walking, talking red flag. What? Is he talking about friends or something else that I don't know? Because simply a lack of character to begin with is not an admirable character trait. And especially not when single mother is the decision to intentionally become a single mother, just like Rachel decided. Rachel chose to be a single mother. Rachel chooses that her daughter grow up fatherless, while she actually has a loving father she could choose her daughter grow up with instead. A fatherless childhood is the single greatest predictor of lifelong struggle and overall an unsuccessful and troubled adulthood. Not only does Rachel choose that her daughter be deprived of a loving father, Rachel chose to exile this loving father from his daughter's life only after all only after already previously subjecting him to years of cruel and twisted emotional manipulation and heartbreak. Rachel chose then, as Rachel is choosing now, to operate based exclusively based on 100% selfish, narcissistic, and malicious motives. That is always border on the sociopathic and sadistic. Oh my gosh, yes. Thank you. That's basically everything that happened. Oh my god. I'm probably gonna stream again like tomorrow or the next day. Like I'm not just gonna leave it here because this is a really interesting topic and I wonder if there's more information about that. I assume there is in other places or, other questions. Like maybe there's threads about it on Reddit. Okay, let's see what we've got. I don't find her to be the most volatile character presented to television, but she is far from a good person. I don't think her leaving Barry was a bad idea, but to leave someone on the day of the wedding without even saying, I don't. Imagine if the person you love decided to leave you, no explanation on what should be the happiest day of your life. She really should have given thought to the relationship. I understand the pressure in her circle to marry a rich man and settle down, but if the issues of your impending marriage only hit you right before you walk down the aisle, you're going to come across as absolutely thoughtless. It's one thing when you don't invite someone to your wedding, but to then completely impose on them. Most people would feel shame just making a scene as a wet bride, but to simply state you're going to live with someone without so much as getting the okay. Wow. Speaking of her relationship with Monica, it was the most toxic on the show. In almost each episode, you can find moments where Rachel is inconsiderate towards Monica. Hard work, the antonym of Rachel Green. Just because someone is in a job they don't like doesn't mean they can half-ass it. Well, at least she works diligently when she has acquired the profession of her choice. Although getting there was very unrealistic and a bit too simplified, and she didn't have much of riches to rags story, but she didn't have to pay rent or have any real struggle in finding work, like a riches to slightly less riches arc. Okay. Spoiler alert, one couldn't miss to observe the following attributes in Rachel. Come on. She is immature, confused, apathetic. She will just go out there and do what pleases her at that moment without thinking about the consequences of her actions and its effects on others, even if those others happen to be her close friends. Example, her flying to London for Ross's wedding. She was never really thankful to any of her friends, not even to Monica, who supported her during her crisis. In fact, she openly expressed her sadness over Monica and Chandler's wedding just because she was still single and getting old. No good friend would ever say that. Oh my gosh. It's been over 3 hours. I gotta stop soon. I really gotta stop soon. Okay. I think we're done. Okay. Maybe 10 or 15 more minutes. I want to read some more stuff on this. This is really interesting. Once she gets a little crush on someone, she will immediately start the process of jeopardizing the ongoing relationship of her crush. She will bitch about the girl who her guy is seeing, will start giving weird signals to the guy, and at the end will not even reveal her feelings to them. She has done this multiple times with Ross and once even with Joey. She is jealous as well as cunning. During the episode with Ross's girlfriend Charlie, one of the nicest people on the show, she did all the bitching and finally made Rachel look like the culprit. Finally made Phoebe look like the culprit. She isn't just a bad friend, but a bad person. She cannot see anyone being happy with things in her own life are not going so well. It will really, really bother her. Rachel isn't just such a bitch. She is a selfish, pompous, and manipulative psycho. I wish to not have a person like her, even in my acquaintance circle. If you consider her pros and cons, she has a high level of cons, which can make her a self-centered bitch. Oh my gosh, please, more. That's right. But she has a high level of cons which can make her a self-centered bitch. That's right. A few of the instances I mentioned here. A few of the instances I mentioned here, but one really important one that stays in mind from the moment I saw it was in the episode where the underdog gets away. Season 1, episode 9. In this episode, Rachel's friends pay for her plane ticket. Rachel's friends pay for her plane ticket to Vail for her Thanksgiving ski trip with her family because Rachel didn't have enough money and they all knew how much she wanted to shoot in Vail. But when they get locked outside the apartment, partly due to her and Monica's fault, she is unable to get the ticket which is inside and therefore misses the flight. A normal person would not bitch about it and blame her friends, but Queen Rachel here does exactly that. The whole time she blames her friends for ruining her Thanksgiving and doesn't even bother about the fact that their plans got canceled too. God, I felt like punching her in the face the entire time. Brad Pitt was right in the time he said that in the one with the rumor episode. Typical of you, Queen Rachel does whatever she wants in her little Rachel land. Rachel Green sure as hell ruined Friends for me, but thank God they put characters like Chandler Bing and Joey on their show to make it better. Joey's the best character in the show. Like he's the best friend. Everyone talks about who the best friend is, and guess what? He's the best friend. And guess what? Joey's the best friend. In my opinion, anyway. Hey, Anonymous, here's another Anonymous. You seriously listed everything up, but still, I want to say that you forgot one thing. Remember when Ross was in that a relationship with the perfect girl, perfect in every way, with an awesome understanding and great tolerance, Mona? That time Rachel once again became the reason of their breakup. She lied, one of her worst lies, to her father that Ross denied to take the responsibility of Emma, their daughter, just because she didn't want to marry Ross and also didn't want to get scolded by her father. Also, Ross had already made it clear to her that he was totally available for any need of Emma, and she was the one who was unwilling to marry was Rachel at the first place. The one who was unwilling to marry was Rachel in the first place. Ross just agreed with her decision of not getting married. That lie made Rachel's father come over to Ross's and make a big, indomitable understanding between Ross and Mona, and this destroyed their healthy relationship. I expect you to get the details, season 8, about this incident and add it up your list. I personally feel so bad for Jennifer Aniston. She had to play such a bad role on such an awesome show. Even the role of the villain is better because that character is badly hated by the other characters in the play. But here, Rachel is shown to be equally loved by her other 5 friends, who are far more well behaving and mature than her. Yikes. Alright. Okay. Couple more posts and then we're done because I need food. I need dinner like desperately. I ate some race house, but that's not going to tie me over. It didn't tie me over for like very long. And when I'm recording, it's the same as when I'm writing. I get very, very hungry very quickly. No, Rachel is not a bitch. She's one of the characters who've had maximum growth throughout the show. Compared to the spoiled, selfish, rich kid in season 1, she has become a caring person who respects others' feelings in season 10. Okay, I do agree with some of the others' answers where Rachel gave up her father's money to find her own way and be independent, and where she was brave enough to leave a man she didn't love at the altar, a man who was, by the way, cheating on her regularly. Yeah. That's it. And the break thing with Ross, yes, that was Ross's fault. Rachel had no intentions to break up with Ross. She went to his place the next day to make amends. So that is on Ross's head. And Ross wasn't happy with Rachel dating other guys. He had a guy's number to whom Rachel had given season 9, I think. And he brought up random ladies to his apartment to try to get even with her. Yes, she returned material gifts her friends had given her, but she always held on to the small things that made memories. For example, the tickets from her first date with Ross, the thing from the museum, though she shouldn't have taken that. Her relationship with her other friends, too, where she marks out some pages in magazines that she thinks Monica might like. That's just a small, nice gesture she does every time. And her relationship with Ross, as complex as ever, but she made his life full at the end. She got off the plane. That's true. Wait, but one nice action doesn't make up for a million bad actions. Rachel is one of the strongest female characters portrayed in the show. A rich girl throwing away her money and making it through her own and becoming financially independent. And her fashion sense is impeccable. Okay, telling you. Everyone keeps telling people that everyone keeps saying that, oh, she went from rags to riches and she became independent with money and stuff. That doesn't make her a good person. And I personally believe that she isn't really a good person. And I don't like her very much. Uh, I'm definitely gonna leave this open so that we can read more about it later because this is really interesting. And I'm probably gonna stream again in a couple of days. I have to be careful because I only have enough streaming time a month, but also Passport is paying for that sort of. So if I do need to pay for more streaming time, I can pay it through my Passport while COVID is going on. So I'm just gonna where it is right now and stream when I want. And if I need to pay for my streaming time, I'm going to be streaming. I'm going to be paying it through my Passport. I'm going to be, and then if I end up streaming past the time that I have, I'm going to buy more time with my Passport for that. And I haven't even I'm not using it for anything else. I have a couple of accounts. So and sometimes I'll rent and so I started using it for other things. I started when delivered every once in a while, stuff like that. Like if it's on a night where I want food delivered and I can't get it delivered, then and I can to go get it, then I get it delivered to the house. Like it's all really good stuff. And anyway, I'm gonna stop now because it's been over 3 hours, and I said 3 hours. It's also getting closer to my mom's do, even though I could easily go into my bedroom for that. But I really just want to stop. But I just want to now. I'm pretty food. I want to go get some dinner and just hang out for a while and do my own thing. So I think we're gonna stop here. I'm gonna go now. So I love each and every one of you guys. Please don't forget to always be yourself. Take care of yourself during COVID.